meeting place for the recreational and the competitive, a special part of these people's lives. Today, the world is back in Winnipeg for a little prairie warmth and old-fashioned Scottish pride as CTV Sports presents the 1991 Canada Safeway World Curling Championships. The skipper of a ship that won't capsize, Julie Sutton has steered her crew through some stormy waters this week. Yesterday, Canada needed this last shot against Sweden to secure a spot in the women's final. The Victoria rink got what it wanted, turning Winnipeg Arena into a maple leaf garden. Sutton will need more of the same today as she tries to dethrone the defending champions from Norway. Kevin Martin is also on the edge of a dream. The ice maker from Edmonton is up against the Iceman from Scotland, David Smith. The two fought it out during round robin in more ways than one. Smith with the shot of the week, an angle raised to the button that put Canada in trouble. Martin persevered, however, and the Canadians would curl undefeated through the week, but not without controversy. The Scots complained bitterly about Martin's use of a corn broom that littered the ice. It's cheating, they cried, and the battle of the brooms continues. CTV Sports is proud to present the 1991 Canada Safeway World Curling Championships from the Winnipeg Arena. Spring is in the air, curling is on the ice. The best in the world have come to Winnipeg to curl their hearts out. Hi everybody, happy Easter. I'm Rod Black. We are so excited that you have decided to join us for this Easter Sunday. It should be a special one and a long one on CTV. We have 5 to 6 hours of curling for you today. We are also excited that we have Canadian representation in both the men's and ladies finals. The men's final goes later today. It's Canada against Scotland. The women will be on ice shortly. It will be the young but confident team from Victoria, BC, Julie Sutton. And it will be Dordi Nordby and her Norwegian squad, the defending champions. With more, let's get some insight from our play-by-play team, Don Chevrier and Ray Turnbull.
Thank you, Rod. Nice to be back at the World Curling Championships and to work once again with you, Ray.
Nice to be back with you, Don. We should have a great day today.
It looks like the right teams got to the finals after a tough week.
That's right. Well, Julie Sutton, for example, really played well the early part of the week. I mean, I don't think she was satisfied herself, but she won those 7 in a row. Then she lost 2. So you kind of had a little worry a little bit about coming into the semifinal. But she came out with a game plan. She kept it simple and clean. She made a big shot to win. So I think she's ready.
She did look, though, a little shaky on that final shot, just catching a piece of the Swedish rock.
That's right. For a moment, I thought, uh-oh, she's missed it, because she threw a little more weight, I think, than she wanted to. But you know what? They never asked you how. It was all over. She's here in the final.
And on the men's side, Kevin Martin, the one from Canada, from Edmonton, you figured would be here, against a very good Scottish team.
Well, Kevin Martin, of course, he's looked tremendous through the briar, and also, you know, here during the World Championship. He's the team to beat for sure. There's no question about that.
Well, they had a controversy midweek. We've dealt with it earlier. We'll deal with it a little bit more, and we'll see if that spills over to the finals today. But should be a great day of curling. Right now, let's go back to Rod Black.
Well, it should be, Don. It's good to see you back in Winnipeg to your first love, curling. Usually talking about curveballs and change-ups, but today about in-turns and out-turns. Also joining us today will be our own Tracy Wilson. She will be ringside. She'll be behind the scenes today to talk to some of the curlers, some of the colors, some of the people behind the scenes at these World Championships. A few moments ago, she talked to the lady behind the Canadians team.
Elaine Dagg-Jackson is the coach of the Canadians women's team. And Elaine, Julie has been upset because she hasn't been playing as well this week. Is she back now?
She certainly is, Tracy. You'll see the Julie Sutton that we all know today. She was under absolutely no pressure at the end of the week. We had made the playoff, and she was just throwing rocks under no pressure. Yesterday, you saw the true Julie Sutton come out and curl a really great game, and that's what you're going to see today. She is totally prepared, as the whole team is.
Okay, you're up against a tough Norwegian team, reigning world champions. Any special strategy?
Yeah, this will be one of the toughest games we've ever played today. Nordy's team is very, very tough. Whenever you play a champion, you know they've done it before. They can do it again if they dig in and try. They've got experience, and we'll be prepared to play our kind of game today.
Okay, well, good luck, Elaine, and thank you. Okay, Rod?
Thank you, Tracy. What would curling be without the bagpipes? Well, they're going now in the Winnipeg Arena. The rinks will be on the ice shortly. We will be back to the 1991 World Curling Championships on CTV.
You can go as far as your heart can see, beyond any road that you want to be, 'cause it's your day. You're on your way with a soul.
You can always tell when it's cookie baking time in Tim Hortons' kitchen, because something in the air says something wonderful is happening in Tim Hortons' oven. Tim Hortons cookies. Fresh every day in that homemade way. And more mouth-watering choices than you ever had at home. Right now, for $1.29, you can take home 6.
Always got time for Tim Hortons.
6 for $1.29. Okay, well, 5's a nice round number.
Right now, Mazda has some special values under wrap.
Ooh.
What's so special? New GST reduced prices, free automatic transmission,
Free automatic.
or equivalent value credit of up to $900 on many models, plus loaded specially priced special editions like 323,
Protégé, all
626, trucks, and MX6.
Great spoiler.
Thank you. And wait till you see our limited edition MPV and Miata.
In British Racing Green.
See your Mazda dealer soon, because these special values won't last long.
Listen, 3-bedroom, renovated kitchen and bathroom, steps to park, vendor myself. What do you think?
Why don't we take a look after work?
Guess what?
What?
We got it.
And now real life begins with sacrifices and painful decisions about money. At Sun Life, we have the expertise and the experience to help you with a personal financial plan. We're the agents of Sun Life.
This is my world. I share. Always with me. Out there.
Such a gentle way about you.
All around the world.
Wouldn't go away without you. My Singapore girl.
CTV's special presentation of the 1991 Canada Safeway World Curling Championships is brought to you by Labatt. Across Canada, beer at its best.
And there are the combatants for today's final, the gold medal match here in the Winnipeg Arena. They are getting ready to hit the ice here. Canada against Norway. The curling has been great this week in Winnipeg. The volunteers have been tremendous. The crowds, as you will see this afternoon, have been unbelievable. Canada and Norway played earlier this week in the round robin, and Canada did beat Dordi Nordby's team by a score of 8-5. Their paths were a bit different, but they still ended up in the same place, both teams. Norway with a round robin record of 8-1. Their semifinal victory yesterday over Scotland, quite a breeze in fact, 8-4. Canada, well, the women, a round-robin record of 7-2. They lost their last 2 games. There was some question whether Julie was curling well, whether she was struggling. She pulled it together yesterday against Sweden, winning 6-4 in the semi. What about strategy today? We talked to both skips.
I think even if we get up 1 or 2, we'll just, play it nice and clean. If we get down maybe 1 or 2, we might get a little bit more aggressive and try to get a few more guards in play and see what we can do there. But generally speaking, we like the wide open style of play with, straight takeouts and wide open draws, not too many guards in play. So
the strategy is a secret. Yeah, we don't tell the strategy. I think it will be a close game. It's always a close game when Norway and Canada play together. I think it will be a very interesting game, interesting to watch and interesting to play. I think the Canadians are a bit afraid for guard, as I watched a bit on the Canada-Sweden game.
Nordby and Sutton, Canada and Norway, they're ready. We're ready. The World Curling Championships continue on CTV with the Easter Bunny, we think, or bunnies, in a moment.
It's winter. Let the games begin. Winter fun, brought to you by Labatt's Blue. It's the way we play.
After testing 17 contenders, the Automobile Journalist Association of Canada voted the Subaru Legacy Family Sedan of the Year again.
Have you cashed in on the $359 worth of coupons from last week's journal? Don't miss any more opportunities. Call now for home delivery.
Spring is full of surprises. Stop into the 1991 Home and Garden Show and see what crops up.
Maytag's moving them out to the home show, and Edmonton Maytag is bringing great factory sale deals on washers, dryers, jet clean dishwashers, and every other Maytag appliance. Get anywhere from $40 to $75 off selected Maytag appliances. Plus, see the Maytag line at the Edmonton Maytag display booth.
The 1991 Home and Garden Show, Wednesday through Sunday, Northlands Agricom.
Belvedere Auto Parts is proud to be the sponsor of Kevin Martin, Kevin Park, Don Bartlett, Dan Petrick, and Coach Jules Ochar as the Canadian Brier Champions. We know that your rink will make all Albertans and Canadians proud at the World Curling Championships.
My Wilmar heat mirror windows have an invisible film and a special coating for total performance. I like my windows. My Wilmar heat mirror windows helps my plants grow to be healthy and strong. So do mine. My Wilmar heat mirror windows protect me from fading. Fading? No problem. My Wilmar heat mirror windows also reduce the sound transmission from unwanted noises. What?
The very comfortable Wilmar windows with heat mirror. Total performance unlike any other window. Call the Comfort Line.
'1984 was the year Manitoba dominated Canadian curling. Connie Lalaberty's Winnipeg rink was one of 5 Manitoba teams to win a national title. But Lalaberty aimed one step higher. The Canadian ladies swept away the opposition at the Worlds in Perth, Scotland. They shut out Switzerland 10-0 in a final that lasted only 8 ends. It was the beginning of 4 straight world titles for Canadian women. That was 7 years ago for Connie Lalaberty and her Manitoba team. Coincidentally, we are in Winnipeg, her home, for the 1991 World Championships. A former World Junior champion is on the ice in Julie Sutton against the defending champion, Dordi Nordby. The question is, can Nordby make it 2 straight? Can that young lady win her first? With the answers, let's go to the men who will call the shots today, Don Chevrier and former Canadian champion Ray Turnbull.
All right, Rod, thank you. It may take a couple hours or more to get the definitive answer on that, but there's no question that Dordi Nordby has got a formidable rank. And as you say, the defending world champion is back as Canada gets this match underway.
And she wants so badly to be the first woman to win 2 world championships back-to-back. And, you know, I think she's going to be very tough. Julie came up with a strong plan yesterday in the semifinal. She kept it simple, and I think we're going to see that, Chev. She's going to try and keep it wide open and clean. Dordi, I think she'll try and go after. I think she'll try and get something up front and close the game a bit. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon. We've got about 12,000 people here. The building is alive.
Well over 200,000 for the week. The best attended World Curling Championship ever here in Winnipeg. The second time this city has hosted it. You just saw the young lead for Canada, Carrie Williams, born in Lethbridge, Alberta, representing the Wantapuka Curling Club in Victoria, Canada, throw her first rock. And now for the Norwegian team lead, Ann Jotun, the 35-year-old, the elder of this team.
Well, Carrie Williams got it right where they wanted it, in the forefoot. They don't want anything out front. Julie's just going to try and exchange some stones and and keep it wide open. Dordi, they'll go up and down the ice. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Norwegian try and close things off pretty quickly. Anna Jotun is kind of the person on this team, on the Norwegian team, the kind of the catalyst, Don. You know, she was a skip in her own right in Norway, and a very good one. And when she joined this team, when Dordi started skipping, it just sort of all came together.
Carey playing the outturn a fairly quiet way down to tap it back. Gets a corner, rolls away herself. While you're seeing a straight takeout game now, and that can be expected in the early ends of any championship game these days, this ice ray this week has proven most conducive to draw curling and come-around games, and spectators have seen some great shots.
Yeah, and we'll keep our viewers up to date with, you know, how it changes. It's been tremendous ice. The ice is, the stones will finish. There's some tricky spots on it. It's changed from day to day. Of course, that's kind of expected when you get a crowd this size. We just saw Dordi indicate to Anna Jotun, I want this rock up in front on the corner. So right off the bat, she's going to try and close the end a little bit. Norway with the advantage of last rock, of course, can make a move. Nice and tight, but up in front. There's the call. That's exactly what she wanted.
Corner guard, it just does reach the edge of the 12-foot circle, and Sutton promptly will go after it. Her second is 22-year-old Melissa Soligo. This is a young Canadian team, Ray, as you know, that just lives and breathes curling all winter long.
Well, you have to be here. You really have to do that. You've got to dedicate yourself. It's like every other sport. These are the top athletes in the game, and if you don't put the practice hours in, you're not going to be in this position, a position to be a world champion. Something all curlers dream of. No problem.
Rolls over a little bit. Off the rings now. You saw those different-looking brushes in use. Maybe a word from you, Ray Turnbull, on your opinion as to their merit.
Well, I think that, you know, it's a different stroke altogether in the sense that you're able to get over top of the handle, the head a little bit better and apply some pressure. I've never really used one. I think you use different muscles. You have to get used to them a little bit. Whoa. But they look very effective to me.
Mette Halverson, the 26-year-old Norwegian second.
Whoa. You can see the call by the Norwegian skip, Dordi Nordby, and she's looking for another corner guard, so she's quite prepared with the advantage of last rock in this end to try and close things off a bit. It comes a little deep. She would have preferred that out on top. Dordi gets a chance to play the hit and roll.
Does it surprise you that Dordi is doing it this early in a championship game?
I don't think so, because I think that, you know, I talked to her a little bit before the game, and she was saying that, you know, she could see in the Swedish game, the game that Julie Sutton had yesterday with Sweden, that Julie didn't want anything out front. So I think that we're going to see her try and force the game up front.
Clean take out by Melissa. Canada left line wide again without last rock here in the championship games opening in.
Terrific crowd again, just fabulous.
Many still filing in from Easter Sunday services here in Winnipeg. Game starting a little after 11 o'clock, Manitoba time.
Little roll here, a little roll there, and that's how you score extra points.
She'd love a roll. She'll get one in the right direction, but too far. Rolling out of play, so the one guard on top is the only rock in play. That belongs to Canada.
Well, Julie will take the game to the open side now, get as far away from that corner guard as she can.
That's the importance of that rock rolling out for Norway. Gives Julie a chance to change the strategy.
Force the play to the other side. Exactly right.
Jody Sutton, the third, had a magnificent semifinal game.
Jody Sutton III had a magnificent week. She has really been the strength behind this team. And I'm not suggesting for one moment the other team members haven't played well, because they have. The front end's been, you know, Melissa Soligo was sick during the week. She missed a couple of games. But Jody really came up big when she had to. She made all those big shots. And, you know, in this game of curling, as the third goes, so goes the game.
Well, she tests her draw weight early and passes with flying colors as Julie will bring it up to the 4-foot and sit firmly there for shot.
That's why we always kept you out of that position, Chev. We tried to keep you up at the lead and second position.
That was one of several reasons.
That's right. Maybe your intern and your outturn, too.
Now, I skipped a lot for one very good reason. I couldn't sweep.
There's a lot of skips that skip for that reason.
This is Hannah Pedersen.
Come on! Come in! Quinn! Steady! Come in!
Hold it. Looking for the roll, no such luck. Very experienced team. They're young, but lots of international experience. And that's the one thing that, you know, we should maybe explain to our viewers across the country is that the Norwegians, most of the European teams have an advantage in the sense it's much easier for them to repeat. In other words, they don't have the big numbers. We've got 1 million curlers in this country, and there are probably about 6,000 curlers in all of Norway.
Well, evidence of that, it took Norway 10 games to win the national championship and get to Winnipeg. It took Julie Sutton and company 25 to get here.
Good point, Chef.
They want to rush this hard to hold the line. Perhaps a roll to the left as you see it, but it'll be a little bit too far and out of play.
Yeah, this gives the Norwegian a chance to duck behind the corner. The red stone just sitting outside the rings.
Yes, advantage Norway, both in terms of placement here with this shot and again with last rock in the opening end. So a roll by Norway opened the door for Julie Sutton to dictate the pace of the end and location in the house. Now it goes the other way with this Canada roll going out. This is the out-turn draw, trying to utilize the only rock in play.
Hannah Pedersen. Looking at the draw clock.
You got to work on this. Just by, and now it'll come up to the edge of the 8.
That's pretty quick ice, too, and that's a good indication because what we do is we time those from hog line to tee line, and that's almost on the tee line. 24 seconds is nice quick ice, so no problem. We have to watch the frost lines a little bit as we go through this game to see if it builds up a little bit on the outside. But that rock looked like it finished a bit, too, so...
It's not quite completely buried, just the nose of the stone sticking out, and the way it curls in that area, once you get past the guard, there's room to chip it out for Julie Sutton.
Dordi Nordby played third in Milwaukee at the World Championships for a girl named Trina Trolson. They lost the final that year, and when they went back to Norway, they tried to turn the team around. Dordi said, well, why don't I skip for a while and try and listen to Hannah and Dordi. You'll pick this up and translate, will you please, Chef? Norwegian.
May take a while. Be patient.
But anyway, and Trina said, no, I don't want to play third. So Dordi said, okay, fine, I'll skip. And they picked up Anna Joten, but they haven't looked back since. Julie Sutton.
Plays it firmly with the out turn. Weight will dictate how much it curls. If it's past the guard, and it is, she's made the shot, and she has. Julie, using the wide expanse of the house, will come all the way across and stay at the back of the 12-foot ring, and she ought to be pretty satisfied with that.
Good roll, moves away from the corner guard. Here's another look at it, and the girls stay on top of it, as you mentioned, with those new brushes. Hands with a little bend in the brush, and they're right over top of the head. Lots of pressure, and that's what counts in brushing. And Julie gets the roll and forcing the Norwegians to go to the other side and hit.
I was just afraid that as soon as we had a piece of it, I wanted to sweep it because I didn't want to.
She goes through a little ritual, same thing each time. Great powers of concentration. Watch this.
She's not exactly the Mike Hargrove of curling, though. I mean, it happens in a pretty concise space of time.
It doesn't take a lot of time, but she gets down in behind her stone. Very good swing, good flat swing. We'll try and analyze a few of the deliveries as we move through the day and point out some of the differences from curler to curler.
Julie right away marks the ice to go the other way with the in-turn at the Norwegian shot stone on the back of the 12. Getting back to Julie's first shot, though, doubly important, I thought, as you know, big match like this, a critical, tough shot. To make the first one counts a lot for your confidence.
Yeah, that's a terrific point. You know, if you lose, if you miss that shot, it starts to. The game's in the head, you know, and it moves from the fingers to the head. And if you do miss a shot, that's a good point you make. If you miss one early like that, then you start to struggle a little bit, and the next thing you know, you're all over the place. Now, you're right. It was a good shot to make, and it wasn't an easy one.
Perhaps like Yogi Berra said about baseball, 90% of hitting is half mental. Same might apply here. Julie with the other turn now. You don't want this to snap on them near the center line. Holding good line, contact. And she wants to stick around and avoid the easy blank. Let's see where this one winds up at the back of the house.
Rings.
Is that on the rings, Ray?
I'm not sure, pal. There's a good look at it, just out. So she gets a chance just to throw it through and blank it.
So she'll do it the easy way.
Maybe there's a good time to, to talk a little bit about, some of the viewers that maybe don't watch a lot of curling, don't know the game too well. Dordi Nordby, the Norwegian skip, has last rock in this end, and it's the advantage that you want. So what she'll do, as opposed to taking this single point, she'll just throw the rock through the rings, blank the end, and maintain that advantage, which is last rock, so that she'll play the next end and try and get 2 points. Theoretically, you have 1 point when you have last rock. What you're trying to do is get the extra point. The extra point is the control point.
And when you'd like to do that in a 10-end game is on the even ends, 2, 4, 6, 8, and carry it home to the 10.
Yeah, that's right. That's ideal, but that's not something that you worry about.
So they do blank the first end. Last rock carries over for Norway and end number 2. Much more to come from Winnipeg and the World Championships right after this.
We couldn't call ourselves experts if we didn't have the superb fitting Reebok pump.
Hello, studio. It's perfect. Susan. Not now. Mark on the phone.
The guy from AGT? Hi, Mark.
Susan, finally.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been so crazy around here. I just had a show.
I heard. Great.
I'm starting to get a lot of interest from out of town.
Ah, big time.
Yeah, but I don't have time to go see them.
Well, call them. Check them out. See how serious they are.
Long distance? Sure, it's great for your business.
Look, I'm just trying to help you get more business. Have you ever heard the expression, you gotta spend money to make money?
What about a penny saved is a penny earned?
How about the more you call, the more you save?
Yeah. No, I've never heard that.
Okay, I just made it up. But my point is, we've got all kinds of long-distance discount packages, like Advantage, Watts, and FaxCom for your faxing. Let's sit down and talk about it, if you ever do sit down. Make sense?
Yeah.
Long-distance business sense. Advantage, Watts, and FaxCom can give you the edge you need. Call us, AGT. We bring your world to you.
Ford and Mercury dealers are taking care of business with up to $3,700 in cashbacks and TCB reductions on Tempo and Topaz, F-Series trucks, Mercury Sable, Aerostar, Ranger, Ford Taurus, Escort, Festiva, and much more. We're not only taking care of business, we're also taking care of you.
Taking care of business and working overtime, work out.
We couldn't call ourselves experts if we didn't have Nike Air.
Ma, あなたのメガネ、ひどい傷ね。ニコンのレンズならもっと長持ちするわよ。ニコンのレンズはコーティング加工されているの。ほら、ね、すごくよく見えるでしょ。反射を抑える特殊コーティングもされているの。それにとっても軽いし、比べてみてこの薄さ。今度メガネを作るときはニコンのコーティングレンズ。
Nikon, guarantee of authenticity.
ほら、あなたのメガネ。
Back with you, end number 2, the women's final of the World Championships in Winnipeg. And after blanking the first end, Norway carrying last rock advantage here into the second end. Just now a key miss. Julie Sutton's team putting down the rock at the top of the 4-foot, and the miss on the takeout attempt by the Nordby lead, Anna Jotun. So Canada gets a marvelous chance here to build a steal situation.
Well, once again, Julie Sutton asked for and got from Carey the stone on the top of the 4-foot. It's exactly where she wanted. And as you mentioned, John, Anna flashed it, so it is a chance to set up, to close that 4-foot area and set up the possibility of stealing and picking up the single.
Good line and good weight as it comes over to...
Maybe a little too tight, John.
Grab the center line, maybe a bit too close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it slides all the way to the 12-foot.
You want to keep that rock just in front of the rings a little bit so that when Dordi hits it, she can't roll the shooter in.
Well, let's show you what happened here. The first key miss of this game, really. This was the lead rock for Norway. Jotun missing the takeout attempt with the outturn. But now Canada with a guard too close to the shot rock, and Anne's got a chance to redeem herself. She goes with the in-turn throwing big weight. She gets just the one.
That's a good shot, though. She moved it, the shooter over to the corner. And it's tight to the ring, so Julie will take a look at it. And it's too tight to leave.
That's a 2-for-1 shot for the Sutton rink, really. You play the takeout on this, roll in front of your own, and you get the rock removed and a guard for yourself. It all works out.
The key to the guard that they played, that Kerry played, was it was too tight to the rings. This forces Julie to go after this stone. Had that guard been a little further in front, then all of a sudden this shot is not in the rings, and you've got something going in front.
Wants to stay on the outside of this. Doesn't quite do it. It does get by the shot rock, though, but wide open now is Canada in the 4-foot.
Well, the key here also is that Norway now has a chance to hit and roll behind that corner. Just a little too tight with Kerry Wilm's guard. Rock had been about a foot or so in front of the rings, this situation wouldn't have developed. Second in, no score. Somebody looking to take control. Norwegians with last rock.
This is Meta Halverson stone. She will roll across the house. And will stick in the 12-foot. Of course, this suits Julie Sutton here because she gets to play to the open side.
New ice out there. Let's watch this path as close as we can. Good brushing, good control. Nice control weight, too. That ran pretty true. She took about 8 to 10 inches of ice. Dordi Nordby will take the same. Play the in-turn with Meta Halverson stone. Her first shot. Watch closely to the releases of all the team members. The Norwegians have a little what we refer to as a softer release of the handle, so as a result the stones will work a little bit more. The Canadians put a little more pronounced turn on their handle, so they get a bit more rotation of it and less movement.
Here's an example of the Norway delivery.
Good trunk lift, good flat swing, gets it well out in front, stays fairly high, and now the release. See how soft it is, just rolls it off the fingers. You'll notice that with the Canadians, they put a little bit more turn on their handle.
We'll see it perhaps right now. Certainly Melissa did. She turns it one way and then the other way, just to make sure there's a firm turn going on the rock.
Well, with the in-turn, you can see that she's already got a full rotation as it leaves her hand. But you just ice accordingly.
This will move across to the 4.
Both teams are playing tremendous control weight, and that's the key to those kind of shots. The Norwegians have a little bit of a tendency to throw more weight sometimes. Dordi goes to Anna Pettersson's in-turn. Now she's left-handed.
So everything's
her in-turn.
Yeah.
Come here. Looked like it was going to move, but it just stayed.
Is the opposite true? Is one of the turns easier for a left-handed curler as opposed to a right-handed curler?
I don't think so.
Makes no difference?
No, I don't think so. If you learn to throw both hands, you don't only have to throw the one turn.
Might be in demand if you had that capability.
I tell you what, have you seen some of my interns? I should try it.
Here's the unique design of the new push broom at work. Right on the money, little roll to the right, still stays in the 4-foot. Canada lying shot. With 5 rocks to go, Norway retains the hammer in the second in.
Take a little closer look at the brush as Kerry comes down the ice. You can see the bend in the handle, and the curlers are able to get up over top of that and apply all the pressure down. And little different muscles in the back area, apparently, so you have to get used to it.
Well, the standard push rim used to require a lot of use of the stomach muscles as well. This maybe eases that situation.
Maybe I should stay with it then.
I'll join you. Takeout game continues, but now Norway lying shot, straddling the 8-foot. So the one guard in play at the corner redstone of Canada's on the left has not been a factor.
Right there. There? Easy? It's more.
This is a very young Canadian team. Julie, Jody, Melissa, all 22, and the baby of the group, Carrie Williams, is 21.
Well, there's been tremendous support here all week and a very, very lively crowd. And in this game so far, of course, we haven't had anything really to shout about. It's been a very defensive-style game. But I'm sure as we move through next few ends, we'll get some rocks in play, and these athletes will get a chance to show their skills. Now watch Julie pulls it back quickly, gets it out. Now watch the release. See how much turn in comparison to the release of Hannah Pedersen, for example?
Very definite turn indeed, but they work to hold the line on it. May have been just a tad narrow. She's going to miss it. Norway has a marvelous opportunity to trade shots for a pair with 3 rocks to go and end number 2.
That's a big break. You see here, she pulls it back, gets it out. It's down very low now. She maybe just rolled this over a little bit, maybe got it started. Didn't look like she did, but so she must have maybe come out inside because they jumped on her right away, and it really moved on her. Girls couldn't hold it, and this is a big opportunity for the Norwegians to split the rings, draw to the other side, and pick up a deuce.
Yeah, I think she really had to be a bit narrow on that because to a pretty firm weight, it still moved quite a bit.
Yeah, look, she just came with straight out inside.
So, advantage Norway definitely in the second end here.
No, I thought it was fine. You just missed it.
Weight was fine, Dordi says. He just threw it inside. That's all there is to it. That's the way you have to approach it.
She will adjust. Now, the defending world champion, Dordi Nordby, with her first rock of the second end.
She's a good draw. She's a good one, Chev. She really is. Her first draw.
Oh, she needs this. But it's down center, the keenest part of the ice. And we'll be there.
They're trying to get them right across from each other.
This will be a little bit deeper, but Julie doesn't even think in terms of the double. Maybe a rollover behind the other one in that direction. I'll say she has in mind.
Yes, please. Okay, all Julie's really got is to get this one here, as you mentioned, Don, and try and get a rollover in this area, making it difficult for the Norwegians to get at it.
As she knows, she's facing an almost certain 2 if Dordi executes her last. She wants to make it difficult.
I heard what she said, though. I just want to hit it first, make sure that we hit it and stick so that the Norwegian has to hit and stick for the 2. You don't want to give her open draw.
Certainly not for 3. She threw this a little harder in the last one. In his holds line. Won't move a great deal, though. Sutton has done all she can to get out of a tough situation, and she's not out of it yet because the takeout and stick will give Nordby a pair and a big jump in this World Final.
Now, the one thing she does do, there's not very much she can't do, this little girl, but the one thing she does do, she really hits well. She's got, and you can see, if you take a look at her mechanics, they lend to being a strong hitter. She's so low in behind the stone. Some of the people that have the soft touch, maybe throw the soft shots or the quiet shots a little better, usually stay a little higher. So you watch this little girl, she's got great powers of concentration as she sets up, tremendous swing, good trunk lift. Now it's back with body, flat swing, right in behind the stone. There it is.
Looking good.
No mistake there, Don.
That's a pair. Norway scores a pair of yellow rocks. Sutton opened the door, and Nordby walked right through. After two, Norway leads by a pair. Back to Winnipeg after this.
My Wilmar heat mirror windows have an invisible film and a special coating which reflects heat back to its source. I like my windows. My Wilmar heat mirror windows keep me warm with a clear view all winter long. So do mine. My Wilmar heat mirror windows keep me cool all summer long. They reflect the sun's heat. Hey, what's a little heat?
The very comfortable Wilmar windows with heat mirror. Total performance unlike any other window. Call the Comfort Line.
One day, out of the blue, I bought Robin's Donuts and coffee for the whole office, and 15 people thanked me. Hey, I love those guys!
Robin's is the best part of your day.
Robin's Donuts. I call the early meetings, so I bring the Robin's coffee and donuts. And to tell you the truth, it's the best part of the meeting.
Robin's is the best part of your day.
あなたのメガネ、ひどい傷ね。ニコンのレンズならもっと長持ちするわよ。ニコンのレンズはコーティング加工されているの。ほら、ね、すごくよく見えるでしょ。反射を抑える特殊コーティングもされているの。それにとっても軽いし、比べてみてこの薄さ。今度メガネを作るときはニコンのコーティングレンズ。
Nikon, guarantee of authenticity.
ほら、あなたのメガネ。
Join Brian Orsi, Scott Hamilton, Tuller Cranston, and an all-star cast for the most dazzling family entertainment event of the year. McDonald's Stars on Ice, presented by American Express. Coming to the Northlands Coliseum April 11th for one performance only, with special guest star Kurt Browning, courtesy of your local bottler of Diet Coke. Tickets are on sale at all Bass outlets, or call 451-8000 to charge your tickets today. McDonald's Stars on Ice, brought to you by CFRN in association with the Edmonton Journal and Easy 100.3 FM. Shunka is back. Back with flying colors. Experience the exhilarating entertainment sensation that has brought international audiences to their feet. Experience the magic of motion, music, humor, and energy. Experience Canada's Ukrainian Shunka dancers at the Jubilee Auditorium, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, April 11th, 12th, and 13th, 8 p.m. Tickets available at all Bass outlets.
In three underway at the Winnipeg Arena, Don Chevrier, Rod Turnbull, Tracy Wilson, Rod Black with you, and here is a miss for Canada. Norwegian stone, as they go back to what happened earlier in the end.
Well, Dordi asked for the first stone on the top of the 12-foot, 8-foot slip to the back of the 12-foot, and then we've had just a miss. The next shot was a hit and roll out, and then a top 12-foot shot, and that's the one that Canada missed, the one you're looking at right now.
Norway building with a chance to steal in the third end, having scored two on the second.
I was surprised, actually, the first shot, the first Norwegian stone slipped to the back of the 12-foot. So Julie Sutton had a chance to ignore it and play the corner guard or to freeze to the face of it, and she decided to hit him. And so obviously she's going to stay with her game plan and not let that 2 points upset her at this point. And it may be right, you know. Unfortunately, she got another miss, so it puts the Norwegians in pretty good shape.
That stone, oddly enough, in that spot didn't curl as much as the Norwegians hoped it might, so it's exposed. Julie will play the front rock and try to drive it back and kill the two and get out of this mess she has in the third end. This is Melissa Saliga, the 22-year-old second, born in Trail, British Columbia. Just a corner will leave the backwood.
The game of pressure curling is, as we all know, and you got to keep the pressure on. And by hitting and rolling out of those kind of shots, you let Norway kind of set the tone of the end the game. They've got a 2-point lead, and now they're just, they'll play the top 8-foot here, top 12-foot, and keep forcing Canada to come up with those big shots. Dordi Nordby quite prepared. She didn't set out in this end to try and steal another point. She's quite prepared just to hold the Canadians to a single, and then she'll make her moves when she has the hammer.
Here's the draw shot from the second, Meta Halverson. Again, not too deep. 12 foot if they can get it there. Guarding the shot stall. And there it is.
It's your front ends that set the tone, and those are two great shots. Absolutely perfectly played.
Melissa's second stone. Again, coming right back, playing the front rock and trying to drive it back and kill the other. Nice try. It will hang around to be shot, but she almost killed the two. Melissa Soligo.
Dan Petrick and Don Bartlett, they're getting set for their match coming up shortly and cheering on the Canadians. Almost perfect, as you mentioned, Donald.
Such a fine line between a good shot such as that and a potentially great shot.
Anna Pettersson. Great execution, that's all that is.
Well, it does two things. Not only is obviously Norway lying two, but they got a very useful rock at the top of the 12-foot. One that if Julie hits it on the nose will simply serve as a guard for Norway. So Julie wants movement on this takeout.
Once again, the potential double is there. You heard Jody say, just hit the stick. Make them make a play on it.
It's a couple of inches of ice. Nice firm weight down the center line. Starts to curl a bit now. And will stick. That could come back to haunt them, Ray.
Well, I don't know. I think that the Norwegian will hit this, Don. She may not, but pretty close to the ring.
Interesting possibilities for her. Another guard, perhaps?
2-point lead. That's pretty close. Discussing it. That's what I would do. If any consolation, I would hit it.
Don't tell me you understand Norwegian, having been here just 6 days.
I've spent lots of time over there, but I don't understand a word.
Now, Dordi understands what to do here. She will make the hit as you suggested. She'd like to move it across to the corner and guard her own. It'll pretty much do that.
Maybe we should explain to some of our viewers the reasons for her playing that hit, Don. Potentially, that's a very dangerous rock to her. She has a 2-point lead, and things are going her way. If she leaves that there and doesn't make a perfect come around or doesn't get it closed off, it can be split onto the rings by Canada. It can be pushed up. It really was the nervous stone. So I think she played the right shot. She went up and ran it off. Now, I'm a little surprised here that Julie is not drawing to it. It looks to me like she's trying to hit it. Yes, she is. You see, the rock being behind the tee line, Canada can use to their advantage by laying up to it. It makes it very difficult for Norway to remove it. This just means an exchange of stones for Dordi Nordby.
So maybe Dordi is saying, look, I will give them the one they're entitled to with last rock, and I'll carry on with a 1-point lead with last rock on the 4th end. But a very aggressive curler, perhaps it's too early for that, would say, let's bury them now. Let's go up 3 or 4-0 if we can. Well, here's how they've done so far. Nordby perfect. Sutton struggling somewhat after a couple of ends.
Well, it's early and there's lots of time, but at some point in this game, Julie Sutton's got to make an offensive move. She had an opportunity there. She chose not to.
The situation. Traveling the 8th foot at the back is the Canadian stone. That's the one that Nordby has in her sights with good, strong weight.
Watch that center line. It's starting to move a bit.
She'd love it to stick around, and it just does.
Bang.
She can do it all. Dordi Nordby. Rock in the end, back for her first of two.
Desperate in the third end, playing freeze.
There are a couple of options here. Julia's choosing to hit this stone right here, but she could come down and use it, as I mentioned, if she wanted to think offense and freeze there, or she could come behind this corner guard, like so. That rock is well back, but she's choosing just to exchange the stone and not change her game plan, her style of being open. It's only the third end. I guess she's saying, I'll get my chance. I'm not going to go too early. But I'll tell you one thing, Donald, you gotta go sometime. You can't wait forever.
Can't postpone it, that's right. Ultimately, you gotta make your move. But it's early, as you say, just the third end. Now Nordby quickly goes back down the ice. Patterson holding the broom just on the corner of the rock, so she'll throw a good way from the outside into this. And this is just fine with her, expecting Sutton to either take one or blank here, but very important to stick around and create the possibility that Julie would stick and be forced to take a single point.
Well, she wanted to hit and stick for sure. Force the Canadian to hit and roll out, maintain the hammer.
She's a picture of confidence. Well, at 100%, why not?
Great powers of concentration. Great mechanics. Nice free release.
She gets down the ice almost as fast as the rock does. They want to keep this in play, but they won't get their wish.
No such luck.
Julie will be able to toss it through and blank end number 3. So Sutton gets off the hook a little bit there. That end didn't look very positive for her midway through.
Julie Sutton will throw this through the rings and blank the end to maintain the advantage of last rock going into the fourth. And she'll take a look at some ice. She'll look at the outturn down there herself.
Very good point, you
throw that knowledge away for future use.
So she knows what it's liable to do in that spot. Should it take out a rise a little later on. Sutton blanks. Norway's 2-0 lead holds. The carryover last rock to Canada coming up in the next stand, which we'll have for you on CTV from Winnipeg right after this.
What is refreshing? It's the taste. The taste that could only come from a cold, a fat slice right out of the ice. Now, that's refreshing.
One Tough Motor Oil announces one tough guarantee. The Quaker State 400,000 kilometers or 10-year guarantee. Register your new car at a participating service center. Then use only Quaker State. Have oil and filter changed as directed at a service center. And if any lubricated engine part suffers an oil-related breakdown within 400,000 kilometers or 10 years, you're covered. Quaker State guarantees it in writing. The big Q is one Tough Motor Oil.
Now there's new nighttime from Triminic to take care of a child's nighttime cough and cold. Specially formulated to put a nighttime cough and cold to rest. New Triminic Nighttime for a nighttime cough and cold.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, definitely. Where are you staying out here?
I've got a one-room apartment.
Sounds like you. Good thing. We should go out next week.
I'm going south. Got a little shack by the sea. Can I give you a lift?
Oh, that'd be great. You still driving a Volkswagen? This is a Volkswagen?
It's a Passat.
You wouldn't have any pictures of that shack by the sea now, would you?
One day, out of the blue, I bought Robin's Donuts and Coffee for the whole office, and 15 people thanked me. Hey, I love those guys!
Robin's is the best part of
Robin's Donuts. I call the early meetings, so I bring the Robin's coffee and donuts. And to tell you the truth, it's the best part of the meeting.
Robin's is the best part of the day.
From Winnipeg, the World Championship at stake, both men's and women's finals today. The women's match into a fourth end. Canada got a big break a moment ago. Looks to capitalize on it here. Now they're line two with this draw shot. Remember, Canada's got last rock in the end. Here's what has happened so far.
First two shots, Norway put it top of the forefoot. There it is. And Canada hit it on the nose. There it is. And then Norway missed it. You'll see it. And then the draw for two. You'll see the miss right here. Anna Jotun misses her second wide open takeout. They brush it all away, but a little too much curl. She misses it coming across the face. And as we just saw a moment ago, Canada draws to lie two.
And just now, Norway getting the slimmest piece of the Canadian stone and just squeezing it out of play. So Sutton gets to put it where she'd like. That'll be on the tee line. A big smile of relief there on that shot.
Well, Julie gets a great chance to spread them out here, John, and pick up that deuce. If she can just exchange some stones now, she can get her 2 points back. And obviously her thinking was that she was going to get her chance was right.
Oh, you made the point earlier in the last inning. She could have gambled right there. Decided to bide her time, as did Dordi.
My watch didn't work.
You need this draw, though. You're going to make this draw.
Everything falls apart if it's not there. And it will be out.
That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, tough break for Canada right there. Let's check in now with Tracy Wilson.
Maymar Gemmell, the skip of the American team, has played both of these teams in the round robin. And Maymar, what has Julie got to do to get back in this game?
Somewhere along the line, Julie has to have a miss from the Norwegian team so that she can get her two. She did have a miss, and that last rock has gone to the back of the house, so she doesn't have a chance at the present to get her two back. Now there's the hit and the roll over. So now Julie has to try and set up again to get her two. And really it's basically going to be a matter of somebody missing. And I gather when they played the second in, there was one miss from Julie.
Okay, we'll wait then for the miss. Thanks, Maymar. Don?
Well, as you see sometimes, Tracy, and you can relate to figure skating too, that maybe a little execution you can get away with sometimes. A little mishap occurred there, but it worked out beautifully.
That takes every curling school I ever ran and threw right out the window. There's your new mechanics right there. They never ask you how. You know, it's the other end that counts. She just slipped, and when she made the transfer from hack leg to sliding leg, it slipped out underneath her, but she had the presence of mind to stay focused and make the shot. There's a good freeze.
Yeah, this rock is useful. Not quite out of play. Gives Canada some backing here. And the Canadian men are their own cheerleaders. And for Julie Sutton at the moment as they race around the Winnipeg Arena with the flags held high.
They don't seem too nervous to me.
Good way to unwind and get rid of the nerves before a game, I guess.
Better not trip and hurt one of those ankles or anything.
Much better form here from Hannah Pettersson. In turn, outside in. There is the danger of leaving this Redstone on the backing, and that's what she does, and rolls away to give Julie a little breathing space herself.
It's almost the best she could do with that, Don. She, you know, maybe if she hits it a little fuller, she would have been frozen on the face of it.
Both at 88% to 2/3. Jody Sutton and Hannah Pettersson to this point after 3 ends.
Easy weight, guys.
Here's Jody now. Her first of 2. Did she throw that inside?
We'll soon know.
Not all that much. They need this to stay.
Oh.
And it does.
Yes, sir. Great shot. That shot was made by the brushers. The two girls brushing held that up all the way. And Jody is so pleased. And they needed a big shot here, and this is absolutely perfect. You couldn't play this any better. But those two girls on those brushes really held that.
Yeah, left her hand a bit narrow, and they worked to hold it, and just did. Now, Hannah Pettersson.
Whoa!
Norwegian third, final rock of end number 4.
Wants to stick here. Try and get the rocks. She'll try and move the rocks as close as she can together on each shot. Set up the potential double. Of course, Julie would like to move it back to where it was.
Well, as you know, Ray, the danger for both of them right here is the two-way Norway in the fourth end of play is that there isn't much room for error for roll back there.
Good point. You're right at the back of the ring.
The slightest roll could take you off the ring and change the course of the end.
Absolutely.
Canada wants virtually a nose hit here from Sutton.
Keep it clean, Julie says. Keep it clean.
Looks good. Line 2 with 3 rocks to go. Make it 4. The skip rock's coming up.
Of course, what Dordi's looking for is to come down, hit this one here, and try and roll over here. There's a possible double there, but even if she could get a roll into this area here, she could take away this potential deuce.
Or at least to get into the area where a miscue by Sutton could benefit her. But Dordi Nordby has been putting on a skips clinic here in the early ends of this Women's World Championship, which she leads 2-0. You see the only scoring on the board, the 2 in the second end for Norway after a key miss by Sutton with her first in the end. Nordby capitalized.
Wants to roll across.
It'll move beautifully.
Oh, look at this.
A great shot.
I mean, what can you say? You can't draw it better. Is she happy, do you think, John?
She's just made, to this point, the shot of the day. Watch.
Look at this roll. That's why she's skipping. That's what I say to my skip. Take a few of those, will you, please?
Bail us out, and she has, because at the end it looked like Sutton was about to come back and tie the game with a pair on. Now it changes dramatically.
Right? To draw down to the fence better, because then we won't roll out either way, right? We'll be in the house. There? Yeah, I think that must be. There. Can we stand here?
Julie really hasn't any option at all. You just can't get this rock out of there. So what she'll do is try and come down, sit right on the face of it, and try and use it herself. The nice part about it is behind, so she can use it.
Your handwriting has improved since I last saw you.
I went to telestrator school in Florida.
Passed the flying colors.
Oh, well, yeah. It took me 3 years, though.
In fact, they've been watching curling on television in Florida on the Sunshine Network the last month or so. So many Canadians down there for spring training, spring break. They've been enjoying some of Canada's major curling events.
First couple of years down, they called me Toro. I had lines all over the place.
Sutton playing the drawdown with a pile at the back. She wants to get it all the way there. Exactly as far as she could take it, but now it's curling offline and won't be there. It'll be barely up to the tee line and very much available.
Well, obviously, Julie wanted back behind that tee line because now that Dordi gets a chance to hit it to lie 2, and of course the Canadians will take a single. Dordi will like to hit this and just hit this stone on the outside like so, pushing it out this way, roll over to this area here, force the Canadians to hit for their single.
Well, Dordi Nordby has got some very definite ideas here. He can capitalize.
If we are leading the match, we are going to go over to a defensive play and try to split guards. But I think most of the game will be an offensive game from both sides. I hope it's much more interesting to see.
Well, she's certainly going on the offensive here in a defensive way, if you can follow all that, because she's taking the offense out of Julie's hands and putting on all kinds of offensive pressure if she can make this shot here.
Stepped her weight up a little bit, Don.
Yes. Oh, dear. She has this? No, she may take a run off. She's turned the end right back to Julie with a virtual free draw for a pair to tie the game.
Yeah, that's a big, huge miss. She really threw that when she just came too fast. Let's try and listen.
You said it, the weight was everything, and it was much too strong. How quickly an end could turn. We see it over and over on one shot, just like that.
Den falt nu tillbaka. Den var
Ja, jeg trodde den var på. Jeg satt igjen med trefferen, ja.
Ja, falt tillbaka det lille. Slutt der.
I think she said you threw that with a certain amount of anger.
Well, I believe whatever you say. She definitely threw that a little harder. I think she wanted to. What a huge miss. All of a sudden, you know, Julie was looking at facing two. Now she's drawing to tie this game up. That is a big, big miss. We'll just mark that one down. Store that for our comments later on in the game.
She has opened the door of the cell, and Julie hopes to walk out with a straw and get right back even. Coming down in the area of her own. That'll settle in, tap the other, and save for a pair. The crowd loves it. Sutton strikes back in the fourth, and after four, Norway and Canada are tied at 2 in the World Women's Final from Winnipeg. Much more to come when we come back.
Belvedere Auto Parts is proud to be the sponsor of Kevin Martin, Kevin Park, Don Bartlett, Dan Petrick, and Coach Jules Ochar. As the Canadian Brier champions, we know that your rink will make all Albertans and Canadians proud at the World Curling Championships.
Golf. It's the fastest growing sport in North America, and the Alberta Professional Golfers Association wants you to be part of it. The Alberta PGA is a professionally trained group of athletes and businessmen and women dedicated to the advancement of the game of golf. Your golf pro is there to help you with all your golfing needs. It's for all ages. Join the golf boom.
This message brought to you by P. Lawson Travel, proud sponsor of the Alberta PGA.
Because you've got things to do and places to go. Easy Off makes greasy cleanups easy on ovens, broilers, frying pans, glass casseroles, and lots more. Easy Off Oven Cleaner gets into tight spots scouring pads find hard to reach. It does a lot in the kitchen, so you can do more out of it. With Easy Off Oven Cleaner with Lemon, Easy Off is ozone-friendly.
Spring is full of surprises. Stop into the 1991 Home and Garden Show and see what pops up.
McCullough has everything you need in outdoor power products. Top performers in chainsaws, gas string trimmers, gas blowers, and backs. Check the yellow pages for the dealer nearest you.
I wanted the best. I chose Rainbird. Now the sprinkler people water my yard.
Come see the friendly people at the Rainbird booth at the Home Show.
The 1991 Home and Garden Show, Wednesday through Sunday, Northlands Agricom.
One day, out of the blue, I bought Robin's Donuts and Coffee for the whole office, and 15 people thanked me. Hey, I love those guys!
Robin's is the best part of your day.
Robin's Donuts. I call the early meetings, so I bring the Robin's Coffee and Donuts. And to tell you the truth, it's the best part of the meeting.
Robin's is the best part of your day.
Have you cashed in on the $359 worth of coupons from last week's journal? Don't miss any more opportunities. Call now for home delivery.
Well, the Leads have done their job here in the fifth end, rapidly approaching the halfway mark of the game. There's tied at 2. Canada and Norway for the World Women's Championship. Here's what's happened so far, Rachel.
Canada put the first rock on the top of the 4-foot, and there it is right there. And then Norway hit it and rolled a little bit to the 8-foot. You're looking at it now. And then there was a hit and roll out, and Norway Canada hit and rolled out, and Norway drew to the 8 foot at the 3 o'clock position, and that's the stone that Canada is now trying to remove.
And Saligo gets enough to take it out and roll away. Nothing in play in the fifth end. 2-2 tie. Later, Canada and Scotland for the men's championship. A big day of curling from the World Championships in Winnipeg on CTV. I like this format that changed a few years ago, Ray, where both the men and women compete in the same venue. Makes a lot of sense.
There's a lot of curling during the week, but it certainly gives the participants a chance to be involved and with larger crowds. And, I think it's worked out pretty well.
It sure made for a marvelous doubleheader this day, with Canada fortunate enough to be in both the men's and women's finals.
We'll see those men an hour or so. And David Smith from Scotland, Kevin Martin from Canada. And boy, if the game is anything like the game we had through the round robin, I'll tell you, this place will be on fire.
There was a lot of fire in that instance, and we'll talk about a little later on as the men game comes up.
Sparks, anyway.
Metta Halverson.
That was a big miss by Dordi Nordby. A nice break for Canada. Something you like to get, and I think you'll find, though, the Norwegians will they'll just forget about it. Just change a few rocks here.
Well, they've both had some pretty significant misses today. And as you know from your experience, Ray Turnbull, I suppose the one who wins usually is the one who can quickly put it out of their mind.
Yeah, it's for sure. That's an excellent point, John. You just got to forget about them. Those are the ends that are behind you. It's like that 4-foot putt you miss on 6. There's no point worrying about it on 8. The Sutton family, you're cheering on their daughters, Julie and Jody, and here's Jody.
Canada's third.
She's really been the key to this team all week. She's just curled sensational. They work well together, the two sisters. Jody may be a little calmer than Julie. Julie's a little bit more excitable, but
she makes this inside roll, straddles the 8th to lie 1.
A lot of pressure on the Canadian teams when they get to these particular semifinals and finals, Don, because you know how tough it is to get back here. Our spotter today, Kerry Burton, can tell you, it's so tough to, fight your way through your club, through your province, and then through your, to win your country. You're talking 30, 40, 50 tough games. So, when you get to a final or a semifinal, you sure want to win them.
And not only are you expected to win by most people across Canada, but doubly so when you're playing at home. But Norway matching the Canadians shot for shot here in this fifth end. The game tied at 2. Two major turning points. A key miss by Julie Sutton led to Norway's pair in the second, and a miss by the Norwegian skip Nordby in the fourth end gave Sutton the 2 points right back. Playing a wide-open fifth end with Norway in possession of final stone. Pretty much on the nose. They keep trading shots on the left of the house as we watch it.
Miss consistent. That's exactly what she's done this whole week. Just make shot after shot, and it shows in the numbers, in their percentages, and it shows in their results.
Was it a bit tight? The swing was a bit funny, but I'm hitting them all in the nose. Oh, yeah.
Anna Pedersen. The left-hander.
First goes it out.
No problem.
Moving a little closer toward the center of the rings, but shot after shot, they trade takeout.
Move the shot around. Stevie?
Try and move it around, Julie says. Where you really have to concentrate too, Don. And you just got a big break. You don't want to give it back to her.
I don't think unless you've been in a World Championship final, you can really appreciate the tremendous amount of pressure that goes with every shot. I mean, your whole season right here on the ice, flashing before your eyes.
I can appreciate it. Believe me, I was a member of the first Canadian team ever to lose it.
Now, where was this again?
It was back in 1931, I think it was.
No, where was it?
First Solid.
In Vermont, yeah, that's right.
And we never got back. We tried hard, but never got back. She wanted to move it around, and she gets us back.
Of course, right here in this building, Don Duguid won a World Championship. Two of them, as a matter of fact, a prior here in Winnipeg. And I thought in those days you were going to put about as many people in as you could for a curling match. Well, I was wrong. 1991 has changed all that. There'll be close to 250,000 for the week. It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. Well, it's a very knowledgeable city when it comes to curling. And, of course, there's about 6,000 visitors to Winnipeg this week. And the people have had a tremendous week. The organizing committee has done an unbelievable job. The building's been live all week. And we've been treated to some tremendous shooting. The ice has been just great. She's really throwing a lot of weight. She's been throwing a lot more weight than Julie, and she's not getting the action on the stone that the Canadians are. And there's another example of it. She's just stepped her weight a little bit. Now, it's common for her to throw more, but I think she's throwing more now than she was in the first or second end.
Look around this crowd. They go way, way up in the rafters here in the Winnipeg Arena. It could hold, I guess, upwards of 14,000, and the better part of that here today. Yet, oddly enough, this won't be the largest crowd, in my memory at least, to watch a World Curling Final. I was in Bern, Switzerland, when the U.S. and Switzerland hooked up in a 2-1 game, and there were 16,000 people screaming like hockey fans. Europe has never come back to that level of interest, though.
No, they already have it. Bern is an area that will draw, though. We've seen some great World Championships there. Christian Thorm won his in 1979 in Bern. Canadian representative that year was Manitoba, a Winnipegger, Barry Fry. And he fought hard to get back and never did get back.
Julie Dry to an open house. 11,361 here today, 235,000 for the week. A week punctuated by a major snowstorm in Winnipeg that surprised a lot of people.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, Don.
But spring has returned in time for Easter, and it's melting away rapidly.
Once again, the Norwegian will try and blank this, hit this rock, and roll out to maintain the advantage of last rock. The only advantage you do have over your opposition in a curling end is one team throws first and the other team throws last. So you don't want to accept that single point. You want to hold the hammer and try to maintain control of the end and get 2 or 3, whatever the case may be. And there are plays that you make to set those things up. You usually make your move with the lead and second stone, first 2 and first 4 stones, trying to set up some forms of offense.
Well, the strategy is sound enough, but you got to make sure, A, you make contact and get rid of it, and B, that you do roll away. You don't want to stick around and take the 1 point. Nordby, very much aware of that as they work hard. She will stick around and takes the point she had hoped to avoid. Dordi Nordby, the defending world champion from Norway, from Oslo, has a 3-2 lead after 5, but turns last rock over, giving up just a point for it. Back with more from Winnipeg in a moment.
Last year, the Nissan Sentra won the Canadian Automobile Association Award. For reliability and customer satisfaction, it's the pinnacle of success. Now we just won it again. Wow. Twin Peaks. The Nissan Sentra shows aptitude in mathematics. It scores well in the performing arts, and it excels in journalism, but it gets its best grades in economics. The Nissan Top 10 sale going on now.
All right, smart guy, how about a little game of Find the Missing Maximum? Too easy. Watch this. Maximum, the regular unleaded, Maximum Plus, the mid-grade, and top of the line, Maximum Supreme. Not bad. But you missed one. Maximum Motor Oil, outstanding. Even when I lose, I win. sculpted stuff. I know. Real talk. Maximum gasolines and motor oils from Petro-Canada. Committed to Canadians.
CTV's special presentation of the 1991 Canada Safeway World Curling Championships is brought to you by AGT.
An important message for people who spend time alone.
I may have died if I hadn't been wearing it.
I'm alive today because of it.
It saved my life.
If you spend time alone and worry about how you get help if you fell, had a medical emergency or an accident, protect yourself the way these people do with Life Call, the 24-hour emergency response service. Simply by pressing this button, you can instantly summon an ambulance, your doctor, your family, even your next-door neighbor, all without picking up the phone. Just press this button, speak into the air.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher. Don't be caught alone. Call this toll-free number now for your free, no-obligation information about Life Call.
It saved my life.
It saved my life.
And it can save your life, too. Life Call works.
Call right now to receive free information by mail. In Edmonton, call Life Call at 441-8030.
Spring is full of surprises. Stop into the 1991 Home and Garden Show and see what crops up.
McCullough has everything you need in outdoor power products. Top performers in chainsaws, gas string trimmers, gas blowers, and vacs. Check the yellow pages for the dealer nearest you.
I wanted the best. I chose Rainbird. Now the sprinkler people water my yard.
Come see the friendly people at the Rainbird booth at the Home Show.
The 1991 Home and Garden Show, Wednesday through Sunday, in Northlands Agricom.
It is the fifth end break here. Dordi Nordby huddling with her team, leading Canada right now, 3-2 after 5 ends. And Julie Sutton and Elaine Dagg-Jackson talking strategy for the final 5. So often in curling, you equate great teams with the skip's name. After all, the skip does make most of the crucial shots, and they do get most of the credit. That's a bit of a misnomer with the Canadian ladies champions. Yes, they are Team Sutton, but they are a team first, and that is what makes them click.
We all really get along on and off the ice really well together. We make a real effort to work together as a team. If one person is a little bit down or isn't feeling well or is not curling really well, usually one person will pick up for the other person. This team sticks together no matter what.
The thing about this team, when they come off the ice, there is nobody that they would rather be with than each other.
It's not always me, saying we're going to do this. It's more like all of us saying, okay, we will do this. It's a lot easier on me. Important decisions, I say we make them together, but she has the last say, of course, because she's a skip, but a lot of times I change her mind if I think she's doing something a little bit that's not right, but if she doesn't want to do it, she won't do it, and we understand. Teams I've played in, you always find your little arguments or, something goes bad. One person has a bad game. You always take out on that person. But this team, since 3 of us live together, it's like no matter what, we're always there. We're always stick together. We're always behind each other. We're just such great friends. We get along great, and we're very supportive of each other. We're just together all the time. It doesn't matter if we're off signing autographs. We just have, I guess our coach calls it a bubble around us, and it doesn't matter if we're off somewhere else. We just all seem to be together and thinking about the same thing at the same time.
They are a team with a capital T, a young team, average age about 22, but their age certainly belies their experience. They've won a World Junior Championship in the past, and they certainly have not been intimidated all of this week here in Winnipeg. What they are playing for, well, they're playing for a gold medal here and this trophy. The women's final continues on CTV, the 1991 Canada Safeway World Curling Championships. More after this.
How do I know if I'm doing it right? What guide should I use? If
If your income situation is about the same as last year, the guide you need should have come in the mail. The first few pages of your guide will get you started, then just read the lines that apply to you. That'll help you avoid mistakes that could hold up your refund.
People with answers, Revenue Canada Taxation.
It seemed to us at Chevrolet that beauty should be more than skin deep. So we scratched beneath the surface of our Lumina, a Ford, a Honda, and this Mercedes. A month in these corrosion chambers simulates 2 years on the road. The Lumina's two-sided galvanized steel proved by far the best rust protection. Because with even a Mercedes, sooner or later, you get this. Durability's a priority, not an option. That's today's Chevrolet.
You can always tell when it's cookie baking time in Tim Hortons' kitchen, because something in the air says something wonderful is happening in Tim Hortons' oven. Tim Hortons cookies. Fresh every day in that homemade way. And more mouth-watering choices than you ever had at home. Right now, for $1.29, you can take home 6. 6 for $1.29. Okay, well, 5's a nice round number.
It's winter. Let the games begin.
Winter fun. Brought to you by LaFac Blue. It's the winter.
One day, out of the blue, I bought Robin's Donuts and coffee for the whole office, and 15 people thanked me. Hey, I love those guys.
Robin's is the best part of your day.
Robin's Donuts. I call the early meetings, so I bring the Robin's coffee and donuts. And to tell you the truth, it's the best part of the meetings.
Robin's is the best part of your day.
They have come from all over to join us for the World Curling Championships. Even Team Mexico, we think, is here. Tracy Wilson is here, too, and she's in this building someplace, either looking for Easter eggs or looking for curling fans. We're not sure. Tracy.
Oh, Rod, I'm right up here at the top of the arena, and I'm hanging on for dear life because it's a long way down. Why did you guys decide to sit at the top of the stadium?
Well, you can see the rink a lot better up here, plus the replay monitors are right over there, so we get to see everything.
Now, your seats are really down a little bit lower.
Yeah, but they're kind of alongside, and you can't see as well, and you see a lot better looking right down on the ice.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back down where I'm more comfortable, and that's at ice level. Rod?
Thank you, Tracy. Now to the sixth end of play. Let's go back to our play-by-play team, Chevy and Ray Turnbull.
Okay, Rod, the second half of the final game of the week for these women from 10 countries who've competed so hard here. And it's very much in doubt, this outcome. Norway with a slender 1-point lead over Canada, 3-2 after 5M.
You know, for the people that don't know a lot about the game, Don, I think it's kind of worth mentioning. The feature that we just showed and the conversation with the girls is something that really is unique to the sport. There's a real bond between the people that play together. I know the teams that I played with over the years became just not friends, you know, more than friends. And you need to have that. And that's what makes a really close team, and that's what makes a winning team. You can never explain why one team wins over another. The combination of personalities. And these girls obviously have built this, and I think this Julie Sutton team is going to be around for a long time. Listening to them speak about each other, about the game, about their lives, really, you know, it's moving, and it's fabulous. And I think people don't play the game, don't understand all the small little things, or why, in my opinion, this is one of the finest team sports in the world.
Well, one of the most overworked terms in all of sports used to be momentum. Now it may be chemistry, but it's still a very valid point. You've got to have it to have a winning combination.
That's right. You know, we've had all kinds of teams over the years in my competitive days, and one didn't click and one did, and you wondered why. You tried to analyze it, but there was always something special when you had those winning combinations. And I'm sure that if you talk to, you know, the Canadian champions, the world champions over the years, they'll tell you the same thing. But it was nice to hear the girls, you know, and hear their comments. It was fabulous.
If you don't believe that, then why did Pat Gillick trade half the Blue Jays away in the offseason?
Well, Dordi Nordby getting back into this game. She wanted to blank the end and maintain the advantage of last rock, but she hit stuck for a single, so we've had an exchange of stones now. Julie Sutton with the advantage as far as last rock is concerned. So Dordi Nordby will move to the defense. Just in a closing thought, Chev, the other thing that's nice is those 4 girls are going to represent our country next year in Albertville at the Olympics. And I'll tell you what, they're fine, 4 fine young women, 4 fine young athletes. So we will be well representative, not only from ability-wise, but on and off the ice.
Well, it will be again in '92 a demonstration sport, but I'm told, as you've heard also, that word is not far away that curling may be adopted as an official medal sport in time for Lillehammer in 1994, when, of course, CTV will bring all the Olympics back to Canada.
Well, it'll be a great shot in the arm for the game, and we need it.
Takeout. Rumor is that some of the less popular sports, maybe the luge, something like that, may be taken out as they adjust the Olympics. Another sport I can never understand why it's not part of the Olympic Games. Baseball, played in over 50 countries right around the world. That, too, at this stage, is still a demonstration sport. Hard to figure.
Yeah, it is. This is kind of a natural, too. I think it's a sport, it's a team sport, so there's no... I think, are they not... you could tell me if I'm wrong, Shab, but I think they're trying to get away from the sports where you have judges. In other words, you judge 9, 10, 8, whatever it may be. And it's a team sport. It's played in a closed area. And really, they are true amateurs, these people, because there's no pros really that are playing for this team to make their living.
Right. Gilligan Norway dropped the guard short of the ring. Of course, I guess the original concept of the Olympics, you want to be a purist and go way back, was that it was an individual competition, not a team competition. But, of course, those days are long gone. So there's a lot at stake for some of these people here. Of course, the Canadians already assured, having won their national championships, that they will be there regardless of the outcome today. This team will, and Kevin Martin from Edmonton will, the Brier champion.
But Julie's not going to leave that out in front. She's just going to run it off and not let the Norwegians get anything built up.
This is more the type of game we expected, certainly in the early end. It did not always develop that way because mistakes resulted in 2 for Norway on the second and 2 right backs for Canada on the 4th end. Then a mistake also by the Norwegian skip in the 5th end, trying to blank, sticking for 1, and the 3-2 lead she enjoys now.
Hannah Pedersen, now they'll pull the guard up again, but you got to be careful because if they put it up 1 too many times, the Canadians are liable to utilize it and go around it. So I think Dordi's going to bring this right into the rings this time. This is Hannah's first stone, the 3rd for Norway, Hannah Pedersen. The one thing you'll notice about the Norwegians, and I noticed it all actually the last 3 years in a row because they were there, as I mentioned, in Milwaukee as well as Västerås, Sweden. They're always smiling. They have a great attitude towards the game.
See in the background there, Dordi looked at her stopwatch, flicked it off, put it back in her pocket. She does that on every shot.
Still testing the weight. How fast the ice is it quicker down the center? Is it blowing up on the edges? Dordi Sutton with the intern hit. There's quite a bit of movement in that particular spot. We saw Anna Joten miss the same intern earlier on in the game right down that very same spot. So there's obviously a little more movement coming off that center line.
You can't cheat the broom there. You'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 for each team remaining. Nothing in play.
Hannah Pedersen with her 2nd stone. It's an intern draw for her. She's a left-hander. And we're going to put the clock on this for you, and we'll just see how quick this ice really is. Now, we're tying this clock from the hog line to the tee line. Girls will watch it. You can remember back to the second end. We timed it was around 24. 23 to the top of the 4 foot, so that makes it about 24. The ice hasn't changed down that spot.
You got to explain that for the uninitiated as to what the time really means.
What it is, it's something to relate back to. It's a matter of being able to feel what you throw that, you time it, you know what the 23 is, you know how fast you come out of the hack and how fast you let it go. So now what you have to do is be able to relate to that. In other words, it hasn't changed there. I threw it this hard. That was 23. You just be able to go back and relate to it again.
Little roll to the left there. Oddly enough, the longer it takes, the keener the ice.
That's right. The higher the number, the faster the ice. The slower it's moving down.
Here are a couple of slow movers making their way around the crowd today on Easter Sunday, giving out treats. I trust that your basket was full this morning.
It certainly was. My wife, Janie, gave me a beautiful Easter bunny and a nice card, and I gave her exactly what I gave her last Easter, nothing.
You were here all week at the rink and forgot it was Easter. I understand. She doesn't, but I do. Dordi Nordby with a 78% performance. She was at 100 through the first three ends, and that big miss.
They score on a 4-point system here, but they can give bonuses 5 and 6 points depending on the shots, and there's been a number of bonuses through the week for the various curlers. You notice that Dordi didn't throw quite as much weight in that shot, Don? I mean, I think that she just got her last 2 or 3 shots before this one. She had stepped the weight up a little bit, and she's cut back again. That's why she got that miss a little earlier, I think. That's one of the explanations.
Maybe we'll try to roll maybe your way, Melissa. Over to that lovely spot. Okay.
She wants to get the roll, not taking very much ice for the outturn. Room almost on the edge of the stone. She matches her counterpart from Norway at 78%.
Julie has a very quick takeaway. She really takes it away quick. And to do that, you have to have very strong legs.
She almost lunges out of the hack.
But she lunges out, but she really whips it back, too. You have to really be careful with it.
She wanted to roll. She'll get a slight roll across to the center line, almost. Stopping in the 8th foot.
Let's take a look again. Now, what I mean by a takeaway, watch her pull it back. Bang. Pulls it back quick. She's in behind the stone, and a nice, clean release, but lots of rotation. She rolls it off the fingers with lots of rotation. If you watch Dordi Nordby, for example, she kind of lets it go a little easier out of the hand, with not the same amount of rotation. We'll get a look at Dordi's swing here now, too. You'll see the contrast, the difference in the 2 takeaways. Dordi has what's called, she's an excellent trunk lift, as does Julie, but now she concentrates. Now you take her grip. Now watch the little forward motion. Now the lift. Now watch the pull with the body, flat swing. It didn't whip it off the ice, and now there's just easy release.
Whoa, whoa! Reefer's just keeping it clean. She wants the inside roll, but has to stick around. She gets the roll, but it'll be too far. Right out of play. So it's going to be another blank end situation coming up here. The opportunity for Julie Sutton, who before this key match began this afternoon, shared her thoughts about the prospect of Norway and what to expect.
We'll be playing a nice wide open style of game because we throw, a little bit differently than the European teams like Norway and Sweden. So we'll try to keep it nice and wide open and let them play our game.
Well, they've both done a bit of that, playing each other's game, mostly their own. The key mistakes took place in the 2nd and the 4th end. Well, for Norway sticking for one on the 5th end.
Right, John. There really hasn't been anybody try to generate offense. The extra points came on misses. And I think you're going to see Julie or Dordi, someone's going to have to make a move.
So the 6th end, the 3rd end that has been blanked in this game is on the board. Holding it 3-2 is the score right now. We'll be right back after this.
Testing 17 contenders, the Automobile Journalists Association of Canada voted the Subaru Legacy Family Sedan of the Year again.
get there, you can count on Esso. We understand what's important to you, and we're here to give you fast, friendly service and get you back on your way.
The baby in this picture is going to have a very special year. A year of first steps, first words, first birthday. And none of these firsts will ever happen again. Now, if you were this baby's parents, which film would you choose? No other film in the world gives you purer, richer colors than Kodacolor Gold film. Aren't your pictures worth gold?
Improve upon the vehicle to change the way people drive? Sound impossible? Sounds like the all-new Chrysler Magic Wagon. Now your Alberta Chrysler dealers are offering a specially equipped model with 7-passenger seating, automatic transmission, a V6 engine, and an extensive list of features. All for $16,995, including freight. The evolution of the minivan is now complete. Advantage Chrysler.
Well, the International Curling Federation, established in 1966, has seen this championship develop into quite an event, both men's and women's competition. Norway with a 3-2 lead after the blank sixth end. We play end number 7 here at the Winnipeg Arena. 11,000 plus enjoying it. We hope you are, wherever you might be this Easter Sunday across the CTV television network.
Well, we just had an exchange of stones, John, and Norway now drawing to the front of the ring. He's looking for a stone just a foot or so in front of the rings, or top 12 foot. This is going to slide maybe a little too far for her. And here's how we got here. First stone and the hit by Canada. Roll out. Another draw by Norway. Up short. Julie just picks it out of there. There it is. And here's where we are right now.
Top of the 12. Melissa goes after it. Still biting the 12 foot, the Canadian shot rocks. Mentioned earlier that curling hopes to be accepted as a medal sport in the Olympics, and baseball already has its wish granted. Doug Beatforth, Executive Vice President of Sports for CTV, the man who will run the Olympic coverage from Barcelona, says baseball's in 92.
Oh, great.
A long-standing oversight's been corrected.
Well, we hope the same fate will happen in this game, Don.
They're talking about the Pan American Winter Games, including curling now. Mexico admitted to the Curling Federation the other day, so it's a changing world in the sport. This just off the rings, rolls a little bit to the left as you see it, in front of the house.
Too tight for Julie to leave, though. She'll hit this. Just too close, too tight to the ring.
Way over on the corner. One of the more popular curlers here this week in Winnipeg, Steve Brown.
Little
Skipper of the
Brown.
United States team. He got off to a dreadful start, lost his first 3, won his last 6 in a row, and made the playoffs and put up a fight right to the end.
Yeah, he had a good game with David Smith yesterday, and Stevie really did fight back. It's nice to see, because he lost, as you mentioned, lost his first 3.
Lost the semifinal of Scotland 4-2.
Just a little message that Julie and Jody and Melissa and Carrie and Elaine gave to me to wish all their fans across Canada, thank them for all the support and the encouragement they've been getting, and a special ode to their friends in Victoria and Oliver and Trail and Vernon and Kelowna. Thanks to everyone from the girls.
They have the many thousands more right across the country cheering them on today, including these folks right here. No secret as to which team they're pulling for.
I'm going to get you one of those hats, Chef. I think that you'd just be perfect. Sitting in the dome and wearing that little hat.
You're the first of the Sky Dome to have it.
Big baseball schedule this year. It'll keep you buzzing around the country, I'm sure.
Yes, it will. Here's the roll. Little action off the other stone. I'm promoting it to the ring. Well, just 10 years ago, the average age, 31 years old in the World Championship. They paired 6 years off that to 1991.
That's an indication of how the game is going a little bit and how much time you have to put into it to be good at it. The nice part about the game, though, is that you can play it effectively and competitively for so many years. Let's not forget that Eddie Wernick, for example, was last year's world men's champion, winning in Best Route Suite, and Eddie's 43, 44 years old, and still very, very strong in our nation. So that's one of the nice pluses about the game, because from age 12 to age 75, if you wish to compete in this game, there's a level for you.
Well, the Europeans, in addition, now are taking it up at a much earlier age. This stone sliding to the edge of the 4. Norway lying shot here without last rock in the 7th end, leading Canada 3-2 in the women's final.
Well, Julie's got a little chance to get the hit. What she indicates, trying to get in behind this stone right here and set up the possibility of scoring a deuce and taking control. That extra point would be the control point.
Continue to trade shots, changing location with rolls from time to time, but maintaining the takeout pattern that was so firmly established in this game. And the takeout pattern that came back to haunt each skip. Certainly haunting Canada in the second end, a key miss by Julie Sutton, and Norway's Dordi in the 4th end with a missed takeout that gave Canada the pair.
Well, the miss by Dordi was, even a bigger miss than Julie's, in the sense that Dordi had a chance to put herself in a great offensive position to lie too, forcing Canada to make a good shot to get their single. As a result, she got an open draw for that second point.
Again, hitting outside in. Her sights set on this Canadian red stone on the 8-foot. As she'll roll away across to the other side of the ring, just fighting the 4. Kevin Martin coming up with a chance to win a world title for Canada. His young child and wife and family members there ready to cheer him on when the time comes.
Yeah, that's right. That's Kevin Martin's little boy, and that's his wife. Lon sitting on the right.
They run a daycare center at the curling club. Kevin, of course, is the ice maker of the club.
If not, we'll try to go to your side, Jerry. Just in the middle. Just whatever I've been throwing. Easy, what I've been throwing.
He's talking about just throwing that easy way, the kind she's been throwing to this point. With the outturn.
Yep.
But just not quite far enough, and it's wide open for Norway. Here's another look at it. They brushed it hard. They let up a little bit, and then they jump back on it. And they get the roll, but maybe just had to leave it a bit more. But it was so hard to judge. You're talking about a matter of a quarter of an inch on the stone you're making contact with. Changes the shot, though.
Changed the turn, I think, too, for the Norwegian skip, which could make a difference.
Let's keep an eye on Dordi's weight here.
She's preferred to make most of her takeouts in this part of the ice outside in. Here she goes the other way. 7th in with her final rock.
Out turn.
They want it to work over a little bit. She gets it.
She's throwing more weight than Julie is, and that's why she's not getting the movement.
That cost her earlier. Gave her an anxious moment or two waiting for that rock to curl just there.
Well, once again, Julie Sutton gets a chance with her last stone to throw it through the rings. She'll take a look at the intern this time. Just take advantage of having this free shot to read the ice a little bit.
Now, when she blanked coming this way earlier, she did so just across center to the other side, so she'll test the waters here. Even though those waters are frozen. Blank end, the second in a row. The 3-2 score holds. Norway with an edge, but it's getting late. Stay with us. Back after this.
We are capturing this magnificent vault eagle with the zoom lens of the Sony TR Series Handycam. If you want your pictures to look this good, shoot them with the Sony TR Series Handycam. Take it from Sony. It has what it takes to take great pictures.
All of these people have three things in common. They made the short drive to Wetaskiwin. They all bought vehicles on the Auto Mile, and they're glad they did.
I've bought 2 of my cars in Wetaskiwin because of the great price. The salesmen are wonderful, and most of all, they stand behind their product.
Anyone that is looking for a quality vehicle and a good deal, I would highly recommend that they look towards Wetaskiwin.
You heard it. No matter what make or model, when you're buying a car, think Wetaskiwin.
Cars cost less than Wetaskiwin.
Taste of Robin's coffee makes me feel like a rich man. That's a pretty good cup of coffee, let me tell you.
Robin's is the best part of your day.
On Mondays, I come to Robin's Donuts and just have coffee. On Tuesdays, I'll have coffee and a muffin. Wednesdays, something chocolate.
Robin's is the best part of your day.
Join Brian Orser, Scott Hamilton, Tuller Cranston, and an all-star cast for the most dazzling family entertainment event of the year. McDonald's Stars on Ice, presented by American Express. Coming to the Northlands Coliseum April 11th for one performance only, with special guest star Kurt Browning, courtesy of your local bottler of Diet Coke. Tickets are on sale at all Bass outlets, or call 451-8000 to charge your tickets today. McDonald's Stars on Ice, brought to you by CFRN in association with the Edmonton Journal and Easy 100.3 FM.
Golf. It's the fastest growing sport in North America, and the Alberta Professional Golfers Association wants you to be part of it. The Alberta PGA is a professionally trained group of athletes and businessmen and women dedicated to the advancement of the game of golf. Your golf pro is there to help you with all your golfing needs. It's for all ages. Join the golf boom.
This message brought to you by P. Lawson Travel, proud sponsor of the Alberta PGA.
We're capturing the colorful and ferocious West African baboon with the zoom lens of the Sony TR Series Handycam. Your pictures can look this good. Take it from Sony. It has what it takes to take great pictures.
The Norwegian women have support from the Norwegian men's team. Igor Ramsdale and company, former world champion, knocked out yesterday in the semifinals with a weak Norwegian wave.
Gary Williams' last stone. And here's how we moved through this. The first stone was out on front center, and we hit that one. And Canada hit and peeled it off, and Norway puts that next one back on the top of the 8-foot, you see. And Canada hit it and rolled to the corner, and that's what you're looking at right now.
The Norwegian second player going after it, Halverson. Julie Sutton in an even 8th end here. An interesting situation. Still looking for at least 2, but if need be, she's got a couple ends to work with to extend this, but somewhere along the line, she's going to have to get 2 points to get herself in real trouble. It's so late.
One of the dangers here is that you're running, you're getting near the end of the game, and if you do get a bad break or something, you can't get back. You don't have the time. Norway with a little bit of control, just the advantage of having that 1-point lead.
Here, Melissa say right off, not happy with this, but it curls enough to make contact.
Let's watch closely right here to see what Dordi calls for, whether she goes back to the center line out in front, or whether she asks for it in the rings. Well, she wants it in the rings, Vic, so she's not gone, so she's not going to make an offensive move at all.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened before.
Well, I'm only getting even because I think you called me Ron.
No, wrong.
Anyway, after that comment about the frozen ice, I mean, anything goes.
Well, there's the rock, top of the 12. Let's check in once again with Tracy Wilson.
Jack Lynch is spearheading the drive to get curling into the Olympic Games as a medal sport. Jack, what are the chances?
I'm very optimistic these days. We now have our 25-member nations, and there is no objective criteria that the IOC can use against it. It is still a subjective decision of the IOC itself, but we have completed all of the objective criteria. Now, the executive board will meet in April. Our sport is going to be on the agenda for sure. Following that, if they make a positive recommendation, we get to vote in June in Birmingham.
Great. Well, here's the CTV Olympic pin. We want to see curling in the Olympics for Lillehammer. Good luck. Okay. Don?
Okay, Tracy. Yeah, the prospects look pretty good this time. Yet hope's been raised so high before.
Hannah Pedersen will go to the rings again. They're going to have to brush this one. Maybe a little lighter than she wished. Dordi comes out to join in. It'll be interesting if this comes up short, whether Julie will make a move or not. Depends on how tight it is, of course.
Well, they wanted to go as far as they could take it. It does stop reasonably short of the rings. Now, here's an interesting call. Lee considers it.
Well, that's right. It comes up short of the ring, so Julie is calling her sister Dordi down. What do you want to do? Do you want to make a move?
How far? It's too close to go around. Without further, I'd say let's go around, but it's a little bit too close. That's why I get a corner on my first one. If they throw off one that's a little bit further out, we'll go around.
Well, you heard what Jody said. I think it's too close. What Julie was considering was going around in this area here, trying to make an offensive play, and Jody says, no, let's hit it, try and roll to one of the corners, and see what happens.
That makes sense.
It's a little too tight to the rings. But you can see the wheels turning as far as Julie's concerned. She realizes I've got to do something. I just can't keep exchanging stones here.
Well, she's afraid that if this doesn't work out, if it backfires, she could be 2 points down with 2 minutes to play in a grave situation. So she will do as you suggested. Move it and get the shooter off to a corner if she can. And the shooter won't fare that well. Long gone.
Appeal. I think that Dordi will be careful here. She will keep it up pretty tight. Really hasn't been very much for this 12,000 plus fans to cheer for, Don. It's a big crowd. It's been a little quiet. There hasn't been many rocks in play, so you really don't get those spectacular shots. But,
well, ironically, a negative thing, 2 misses that created the most excitement all afternoon.
That's right. That's one of the reasons why the ICF and curling in general is looking at this new 3-card zone rule where the first 4 stones of the game cannot be removed as long as they're out in front of the rings, and it's been passed for world play and for play in the Olympics next year. And it will definitely generate offense. Offense generates excitement, and I'm not convinced it's maybe the answer, but I think something has to be done.
Yeah, in the old glory days of curling, there was a lot of come-around play. The corn brooms made it exciting. The brushes took away that element. And now the top teams continually playing the straight peel game. You know, you've got to get some excitement back into it. So it's an attempt to do that. I'm not sure how it's going to work out either.
I just applaud the fact that they're trying something, that's all. It's the skill level of the player. I mean, this is good curling ice. We had it at Briar. We had ice that curled fabulously and finished, but still, when the top teams with their ability now, they get a 2-point lead, they can run those leads right home.
Jody's attempt to run this. Maybe stick around to the left. Yes, she will.
Good shot. She just makes everything she's asked to make.
Just twirls in to grab a piece of the 12-foot. So again, in case fans don't recognize what's going on here in this proposed rule change, which there's no proposal will happen next year, the lead stones, they put a guard down, they can't be taken off.
As long as they're out in front of the rings.
Right.
So if they slip into the rings, you can then play them. There it is from the top, just a biter in the 12-foot. Yeah, that's right. You could, the first 4 stones, as long as they're in that, in front of the rings, not in the rings, not in play, they can't be removed. So you're going to have some rocks in play. If by mistake you ask for a guard and it slips into the rings, then your opposition can remove it.
Curling is constantly changing. We've got clocks for overall game time, 75 minutes a game allowed to get each team shots in. Nobody has been in violation of that this week. That helps speed the play up a lot, too.
Yes, that's right. We should mention each team has 75 minutes to play, and when the one stone comes to rest and the other team takes over, the clock starts to tick, as in chess.
This has been a chess game of sorts. Is this takeout shot for Norway? Rolls full of the 12, top of the house.
This has been more like a checkers game, I think, really. It hasn't been too complicated.
Okay, because we know.
So the clocks are up for all to see, curlers and fans alike. The red is for Canada. The green or yellow is for Norway. Canada's got a little more time left. Now, it is ticking right now, as Julie Sutton goes back and will not stop until her rock comes to rest.
Maybe try to take your way just a bit. But don't worry about it. Yeah.
Back in the old days, some on-ice meetings before a shot took longer than a complete chess game to play at a top level.
Out-turn hit for Julie. Nice controllable weight.
Easy.
You can see, as we watch this rock come down, Don, you can see how that rule would have changed this game drastically. Because the rocks in front, that would be thrown up in front, wouldn't have been able to be removed. So you would have rocks in play all the time. It would have made a much different game out of this game in particular.
Instead of a 3-2 score, you might have, I don't know, 6-5 game by now, perhaps more.
I think you can kind of relate a little bit to it. I mean, all of us would appreciate going to the ballpark and watching a no-hitter or a one-hitter because it's so much skill and talent involved. But really, would you want to watch 50 no-hitters? You know, because, you know, baseball is running and hitting and jumping and sliding and all the things that make it exciting. And yet, yes, the skill level of throwing a no-hitter is fantastic.
It's a marvelous thing to experience, but you're right, you wouldn't want to do it every day. Oddly enough, speaking of that last year on our Blue Jays telecast on CTV, we had the pleasure in a 40-odd game schedule of seeing and televising 2 no-hitters. Now, some broadcasters go their entire career without witnessing one or describing one. Dave Steve, of course, in Cleveland. Dave Stewart of Oakland back in Toronto. Really unusual.
The out-turn hit for Dordi Nordby. Reigning world champion.
They look to see if that is on.
Trying to defend her title.
Not quite from that angle. Everybody wants to make sure.
I'm sure the new curler is wondering, what's going on here? There's no scoring, and once again, Julie Sutton gets an opportunity to throw this rock through the rings and hold last rock. So we'll see if Julie makes a little move in the next end, because we don't have many left, Don.
This will be a trifecta of blanks here. 6th, 7th, and now the 8th end. using the out turn. She said plenty of chance for practice with last rock in ends 6, 7, and 8. This brings to 5 the number of blank ends in this curling match. It remains 3-2 Norway with just 2 ends in regulation left of the Women's World Championships in Winnipeg here on CTV.
What is refreshing? It's the taste. The taste that could only come from a cold, the fast light, right out of the ice. No, that's refreshing.
Okay, work with me now, people, okay? See this name, Goodyear? What do you think of when you see this name? Tires. See, that's what I mean. For years, we've been doing tune-ups. Thank you, Gord, son of the owner. Tune-ups, under the hood work, but still, when we say Goodyear, you say tires. Come on, work with me on this.
From tune-ups to tires, Goodyear takes you home.
Goodyear does tune-ups. This is not a big reach. Pretty clear.
We couldn't call ourselves experts if we didn't have Adidas torsion. If you choose to finance or lease your new GM vehicle someplace other than GMAC, you might find yourself waiting in line instead of out hugging one. GMAC. Nobody wants to put you and GM quality on the road faster. We couldn't call ourselves experts if we didn't have Brooks Propulsion System.
It seemed to us at Chevrolet that in a world preoccupied with performance, it was time to get back to basics. So we built our Lumina with all-wheel disc brakes and four-wheel fully independent suspension as standard features, making the Lumina the standard in its class. Safety's a priority, not an option. That's today's Chevrolet.
Well, Canada with no shortage of support here this afternoon. Norway has got its certain measure of fan support as well from the men's team as they make their way with the flag around. And somebody does love you. They love Rod Black here in this town, too. It says you can't come home again. First Rod from Winnipeg. Will be based in Toronto from here on.
Mette Halverson just getting a corner of that. One of the reasons why we're getting all defense is that Norway was trying to get some stones up in front, but they've been slipping into the rings. This rock was asked for the front, and that's where it went. Julie hit it and rolled out, and Dordi asked for another rock up front, but it slipped into the 8-foot. The leads are dictating the style of play here, and then the roll came hit and roll, and that was the stone you just saw removed, just removed by the Norwegians. Canada now, let's see, is she calling for the corner guard? Let's watch closely.
Pretty good. Go up. Whoa. Take a look. Easy. Still on. Don't jump it.
See, John, one of the things that happens is, this is a good illustration for, those people that don't do a lot of curling, is that the leads and second stones are what sets up the style of the end. And in both those cases, Norway wanted the stone on the center line in front, and Anna Joten slipped into the ring. In this case, Julie Sutton wanted that corner guard out about 3 or 4 feet so that she could maybe get a nose hit and get something going, but it slips into the ring. So all the play now is in the rings, in the circles. So it's a good example for our viewers that don't do a lot of curling to illustrate the importance of your leads and your seconds to set. You play shots with your front end to set up shots later. That's why it's like a game of chess. One move for the next move.
How How dramatically one shot could change things. That rock is on the corner, just off the ring, so Julie's going to ask Melissa for the draw.
Julie got the notice that she wanted. She wishes that stone was a little further out, that's all, Don. But yes, there's a move now. She's going to try and tuck behind with Melissa Gallego. Melissa's second shot. Nice end.
A turn draw, they want to tuck it in behind. She has the weight, she has the room, so they let up. Deeper than she wanted. Well back, just, in fact, it is off the ring.
Well, they had to brush it to get it by the front one, and that's another terrific illustration. Because that front one's so close to the rings, you really can't afford to have it curl too much and hit it. If it's out a little further, no big deal, or not such a big deal if you chip it or hit it.
Now, again, fans may wonder, well, so what? That rock won't matter back there, but it could come into play as backing as this end goes on, and a long look by Nordby at that. Looking at her own guard just off the front.
Just to go on with the further thought, you can see that Dordi Nordby, she knows the rock that's going to hurt her, and that's the corner guard there, so she's going to remove it and try and get the roll into the rings, which will bring the play back to the circle.
It shows you the caliber of play on the part of this Norwegian team. I mean, 10, 12 years ago, European teams wouldn't even think of a move like this, taking their own rock off and relocating it, but she is a defending world champion, right on top of her game. She moves it all right. Out of the house. Sutton would like to get it out the side door. And does. Now here's Kevin Martin awaiting his chance. He'll be up next in pursuit of a men's world championship in Winnipeg against Scotland. And that'll be a rematch of the...
Remember when there was a stone out here? They tried the corner to go around it like so. It's no longer there. So now the alternate down here try and freeze right in that area there.
So suddenly, that seemingly unimportant stone on the back comes very much to play. If Jody could put this one down to it.
Out turn draw. Now she's made the big shots all week for this team. So here's a chance.
Yeah, they want to get it there. Don't think so.
You hear the grunting and groaning by the brushers.
Not quite. Again, that's a very difficult shot. The freeze, as you know, the toughest in the game.
No question about it. You have to have the perfect weight. You have to have the perfect line.
Not a wasted shot. I mean, it could be driven back and stick on the back one.
Sure could be. Looking for the jam.
Oh! Whoa! Again, they go outside in after it.
Oh!
Hanging a bit. She makes it and removes the back stone. They're both out of play. Fine shot. Anna Pettersson, the third for Norway.
Outside in, as you suggested, Don, and no problem. Catches a bit of the back one, moves it away.
Here's Jody again, the first second.
Playing the freeze again, behind the tee line.
They are laboring over this one.
Well, the weight was there, Don, but it just curled too much. You can see that maybe they needed a little more ice, or she threw it inside. But you can recognize the fact that Julie Sutton knows that she has to do something, so she tried to use that stone. Unfortunately, for the Canadians, it just curled a little too much.
Now, Dordi at 78%, Julie 81 after 8 ends. We are in the 9th here. A critical shot here.
That ice is good enough? I guess so.
Discussing the ice that she was given on her last shot. A critical shot here because if the Norwegian skip catches this on the inside, rolls across the house, she'll be lying 2 and she'll fourth. the Canadian skip, to take something here. In the end, she doesn't want to take a point. Doesn't want to give her the hammer coming home.
You're right on.
So this, indeed, one of the biggest shots of the match right here.
She's thrown more weight again than Hannah did. Outside in.
Hanging out there a little bit. Gets her on the way through, but eliminates it. She would love to have stuck around there and force, as we say, Sutton to take a point here and tie it after 9.
Well, it's a good point, Don. She could have, she could be lying two at this point, and she could force Canada to take that single, and you come home with the hammer tied up. Now Julie will try and do is blank the end and try and maintain that last rock advantage going home and try and score her 2 and 10.
Of course, there she faces the ultimate choice of having to take one to stay alive. If she doesn't get the 2 in the 10th end, she'll turn the hammer over in an extra into Norway. But a lot of things can happen in the interim. The world junior champion trying to become the world women's champion 3 years later. Ramsfell and company still urging Norway on.
3-time world champion from Norway, Igo Ramsfell. Right in this very building, they had a great year in 1978 when he played with Christian Storm, losing in the finals to Bobby Nichols, but beating Canada in the semifinals. But he just didn't have it again this week. I think he's just lost a little bit of that fire, a little bit of a desire it takes to finish, Don.
Till yesterday, he made almost a career of eliminating Canada in semifinals. Did so in '88 as well.
13 appearances at a world championship, like a paid holiday.
Dordi Nordby. She won't stick around. Sutton gets to throw it through and take a 4th consecutive blank in.
Well, Dordi's getting away with that, but she really has stepped her weight a little bit, and that's why she's getting those rolls out of the rings, as opposed to, you know, if she hits and sticks there, and Julie hits and sticks, and you go home tied up, as you mentioned, with the hammer. So this is a free one once again for Julie Sutton.
Wonder, though, coming down the stretch, if Julie has to draw the last 4 ends in a row now. She's made a hit and a throw-through. She hasn't drawn for a long time.
Pretty wise, though. Julie hasn't, she hasn't gone far away from that control weight, and that's a good lesson for people. Stay with that control weight, because you're right, you may have to draw.
It remains 3-2 Norway, coming to the 10th and scheduled final end of the Women's World Championship in Winnipeg, and we'll be back.
Shunka is back. Back with flying colors. Experience the exhilarating entertainment sensation that has brought international audiences to their feet. Experience the magic emotion, music, humor, and energy. Experience Canada's Ukrainian Shunka dancers at the Jubilee Auditorium, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, April 11th, 12th, and 13th, 8 p.m. Tickets available at all bass hubs.
ま、あなたのメガネ、ひどい傷ね。ニコンのレンズならもっと長持ちするわよ。ニコンのレンズはコーティング加工されているの。ほら、ね、すごくよく見えるでしょ。反射を抑える特殊コーティングもされているの。それにとっても軽いし、比べてみてこの薄さ。今度メガネを作るときはニコンのコーティングレンズ。
Nikon, guarantee of authenticity.
ほら、あなたのメガネ。
Golf. It's the fastest growing sport in North America, and the Alberta Professional Golfers Association wants you to be part of it. The Alberta PGA is a professionally trained group of athletes and businessmen and women dedicated to the advancement of the game of golf. Your golf pro is there to help you with all your golfing needs.
It's for all ages. Join the golf boom. This message brought to you by Mitsubishi Golf, proud sponsor of the Alberta PGA.
Because you've got things to do and places to go. Easy Off makes greasy cleanups easy on ovens, broilers, frying pans, glass casseroles, and lots more. Make it easy on yourself. Easy Off Oven Cleaner gets into tight spots scouring pads find hard to reach. It does a lot in the kitchen, so you can do more out of it. Make it easy on yourself. With Easy Off Oven Cleaner with lemon, Easy Off is ozone friendly.
Have you cashed in on the $359 worth of coupons from last week's journal? Don't miss any more opportunities. Call now for home delivery.
Duracell, the one that lasts.
Don Chevrier, along with Ray Turnbull, back with you in Winnipeg for the 10th and perhaps decisive end of the Women's World Curling Championship Final. Norway leads at 3-2. Canada's blank 4 in a row retains the hammer here in the 10th end, while Kevin Marston Company, Canada's men's team, their final coming up in a moment, start to throw some warm-up rocks.
Well, Canada has the last rock, and Norway threw the first one to the top 8 foot, and Canada peeled it. No offensive move. Next stone came in, and Canada removed it as well. Now Norway is hitting. Julie hasn't made any moves at all. She has your choices are to freeze to the face of those stones, to ignore them and throw up a corner guard.
But she's waiting for a mistake first. If she doesn't get it, then she'll have to pick the point to make the move.
In this game, you have to force some mistakes. The play is still in the rings, and that's where Dordi Nordby wants it. And they've executed perfectly. They kept the rock in front of the tee line. Should one of those stones slide behind the tee line, then you'll see Julie Sutton use it. But it's on that center line in front of the 4 foot. You could ignore it. You could walk away from it and go up and throw up the corner. You could freeze to the face of it, which may be the better of the two moves in this situation. Try and get something going. Hoping to get the jam.
Up a bit. Yep. Dordi!
This will move to the right. Get it over as far as they can. Over across the corners, grabbing the 8 foot. Let's go to Tracy Wilson now.
Elaine, what's your advice to the girls? Are they just going to have to wait for a mistake, or are they going to try and force an error?
Well, they've been very patient. We've seen almost a perfectly played second half of the game. There have been no misses. The girls have been patient, and they've waited for a miss, and they've been hoping to get up that corner guard, but they're not going to take any unnecessary risks. So they're going to wait for a miss. If they don't get it, they'll take the one, and now it looks like they're playing for the 11th end. They'll be playing to steal on the 11th.
You're happy with your girls' play so far?
Well, they've played such a great game. There was only really the one miss in the first half of the game by Julie, which ended up giving up the 2 points to give Norway the lead. They've been waiting for a break, and they've been waiting, and hopefully it'll come.
Okay, Elaine, our fingers are crossed. Don?
Thank you, Tracy.
Here's the move now, Don. Corner guard. She got the rollout she required. In other words, the rocks are away now from that center line and away from the front of the tee line. So Melissa's got to get the corner guard up. And this is the only way you can score 2 points. Get something to go behind. If Elaine suggested that they just exchange stones and you don't get the miss, then you go into that extra end without the advantage. You've got to force it. And there it is there.
Yeah, Julie waited half the end for the miss. It didn't come. Now she tries to make something happen.
Dordi Nordby indicating the peel. She wants to hit that and roll to the board. She's quite prepared to give the Canadians a single and take this game into the extra end with her having last stone. Anna Peterson. There's what you wanted. There's what you wanted. The only plus for the Norwegians is that it rolled to the center, and that's the area they like to cover, but I think that Julie's got to go, and there she goes.
Jumps right in behind it.
The Sutton family. Yes, sir, here she goes, and she's going to make a move, and she's trying to get it right in this area, keeping it in front of this tee line. You don't want to go behind the tee line.
And this could be, for Jody, who's been so spectacular all week, her most important shot of the week. She can establish some offense for Canada behind the guard here in the 10th man.
I mentioned earlier in the telecast, Don, that Jody Sutton has made the big shots all week. Well, if she's got one more left in her, she can win herself a world championship.
It's got a lot of room, and maybe a little bit too much weight. We'll see.
Starting to move a bit now.
And dig in a little bit.
Will it finish?
Well, she found the button, but she's not quite there. Nice way shot. She certainly gives Hannah Patterson, as she smiles in satisfaction, something to think about here.
Here's another look at it.
And Julie got them off right about here when it was obvious that it was going to clear the guard by quite a distance. Here's Patterson's attempt to pick it off. Starts to curl at the end. She'll have about a quarter of the rock and get it done. Norway shot stone on the 12.
Judy's got to go again. Now, let's remember that Jody got her stone there with no brushing. If that stone had had the brushing weight, the sweeping weight, then it would have curled a little more. They could have taken it and held it, taken it and held it. It just needs a little bit less weight. I think you can sink it. I think you can sink it behind that guard.
Well, she's got a school on the first, as you suggest. Skip rocks remain after this for the 1-point Norwegian lead in the 10th man.
You heard her say tight. In other words, I'm inside a bit.
Now she'll be much closer. If she gets it by, it'll be a spectacular shot. Now they ease up. She has the room. How deep is it?
They had the brush to get it by, and it's going to go a little too deep.
Well, it is there, although it's certainly available to come to. Concern, Ray, midway down that it might be tight to the guard, but they had a lot of room as it turned out.
Well, when she released it, Don, we'll try and listen to them first. When she released it, you heard Jody say, I'm tight. So they had to brush a little bit. So unfortunately, it comes back to this tee line. You take the stone and move it up here into this area, and that could be the winning point. What the Norwegian can do now is come down and sit right in this area and really make it tough on Julie. But she's got to make it here because Canada is lying one at the back of the 8-foot, 6 o'clock. It's all come down to this end.
You wanted finally some offense. It took to the 10th end to get it.
She's throwing a lot of weight. Hasn't had very many draws. I'm just trying to think when she had a draw last. It's been a long time, Don.
Same goes for Julie, as I mentioned earlier.
Here's the concentration. Fix the glasses. Place the grip. Good lift. Great flat swing. Slower drive. See how much slower she's coming out of the hack. Now the release.
She has had 2 occasions to watch Jody's rocks in this area.
Communication. I got the weight.
Well wide of the guard.
Oh,
way out there.
Got a curl a long way.
Coming now and also digging in. Back of the 4. But there's some room there to squeeze it back and sit a pair.
I think Julie will just try and sit on top of it. She gets to the top of the 4-foot.
What is, she's like, I don't want to come back, so you can just come on top. Yeah, but if we're there, hit it and get rid of the box. Yeah, and if you just face up to it, that's fine. What do you think? You just can't leave the inside roll. Yeah. I gave you there. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, because I won't be late. Okay? Yeah.
She's got a little choice here. She could come down and try and get, there's a guard out here, of course, and get the rock in this area here, but she's decided to come down and try and sit on the top of it like so. If she kind of bumps it back, she said that was fine. So, a couple opportunities.
Yeah, she said, I won't be light.
Won't be a bus. Yeah. Yeah, just 14 and a bit. 13 and a bit? 14 and a bit.
We are virtually assured now that the 10th end will not be played.
What Julie and the girls are talking about is 13-14. Now, they time their stones from hog line to hog line, but it's the same principle.
Yep. Line. Hurry. Hurry. Hurry.
She has that many draws.
Oh, it's a good-looking shot.
Oh, look at this here. They should leave it now, I think.
Fine shot.
Well, yes, you mean to get by. No, I mean, fine, don't worry about it. I can't.
They just get it by, but at this point here, I think if they just maybe leave it a little bit, it may stop, because if it stops right in front of the button, then it's going to have to be moved. But they take it back and allows the Norwegian to come down and sit on top of it. If you stop that stone about 1.5 feet shorter, there's nowhere there's a hit. There may be a very tough pick.
It's going to follow you in there. Taking more ice than you did.
Now, it leaves a very difficult shot for the Norwegian, but it is there, Don. If she puts it anywhere on the face of that stone, it's going to be really tough for Julie to get her single point, even to tie it up.
Yeah, let alone the two that she needs to win.
That was the disadvantage of taking it back quite that far. But it's there, it's Sharrock, and this young lady from Norway, the reigning world champion, is going to have to make a big shot right now.
Without last rock advantage, her final shot of end number 10, leading 3-2. Got a lot of room. She'll corner it and lie two. But there's still a chance for Julie Sutton to get a pair.
Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at it, Don. I'm not sure. It's a very difficult situation. You can't really make the double by hitting into the pocket, or you'll drive it onto the back one.
Double point here.
I don't think...
You have to get the point here, right?
If you hit that in the pocket, you'll drive it into the two red ones.
Because I can even come there, and I won't go too full. Yeah, it's better to have too much ice than too little.
The double just isn't there,
I
Don.
can throw like here. Right? On my back. There? Yep.
Not even you could make this double.
I'll say. That was never in doubt.
She's going to draw.
Yeah, her problem is the second stone on the backing. She just can't spin it far enough to beat out
Yep, drop the one. That's all we got.
second Norwegian stone.
It might be a little heavier. Toss line, sis.
Here it is. Must, of course, make sure of the one. Take this to an extra end.
Hurry, Brian! Room, clean, clean. Clean. Yeah, clean, clean.
No shortage of backing down there.
Whoa. Whoa.
Waits there, they said.
No, wait. Whoa. Stop.
Perfect.
There it is. It's tough to take one in that situation, but as you said, as it turned out, that's all Julie Sutton could do. She ties the game at 3, however, turns the last rock advantage in the extra end over to Norway. We'll have it for you from Winnipeg after this.
It's two sales in one.
Why?
Because they're here.
Where?
Pioneer Chrysler Jeep Wetaskiwin.
What?
200 diesel trucks, the largest inventory in Western Canada, plus 100 factory-ordered minivans, and they've never cost less. We made a deal with the factory.
If you can sell them, you can have them.
100 minivans and 200 diesels must go.
How?
Go to Pioneer Chrysler Jeep. Cars have never cost less, not even in Wetaskiwin.
They're here.
But not for long.
Who?
Pioneer Chrysler Jeep Wetaskiwin, 2 sales in 1. See you today.
My Wilmar heat mirror windows have an invisible film and a special coating which reflects heat back to its source.
I like my windows.
My Wilmar heat mirror windows keep me warm with a clear view all winter long.
So do mine.
My Wilmar heat mirror windows keep me cool all summer long. They reflect the sun's heat.
Hey, what's a little heat?
The very comfortable Wilmar windows with heat mirror. Total performance unlike any other window. Call the Comfort Line.
Well, here's Julie Sutton into an extra end for a world championship. Former world junior champion trying to convert to a women's world title here. In a tough situation, her first rock being played by her lead, Carrie Wilms, and the 11th and extra end tied at 3. What a frustrating 10th end that was for Julie.
Well, we just talked about it, you know, in the break with Kerry Burtnick, and he was, you know, he makes a good point that maybe if you could have really thrown a lot of weight at that, there was a possible double, but hitting it the way they hit it and squeezing it through. But it's a very, even with Kevin Martin or Pat Ryan or some of the great hitters in the game, it would have been a very difficult shot. The point being is that you maybe had to try it, and the men would have tried it because they know in this extra end without last rock, it's so difficult to steal a point. But there's the nose hit you're looking for right there.
An early break for Canada in the 11th end. It's a long way out, but it's dead center. Now Julie will add a second one. Top of the 12, just short. She'll ask Carey to come through again.
Just going back briefly to that last inning, I think if they leave, if Julie Sutton's first stone stops a little shorter, in other words, doesn't go to the back of the butts, because Dordi Nordby had a little bit more weight, and it may have just hung out on her. Julie could have had the draw for the win.
Yes.
That end is history, and we got a nose hit, so.
Lots of room. Wait. Yep. Fine. Yep. Green.
Carrie Wilms is coming around.
Just by. Deeper than Julie had wanted, but the hand is sweeper to get it clear of the guard.
It's a good shot.
Worked out all right. Now this is much earlier than you want to go in, but should take it as it is right now. Sutton planned. Some anxious moments for them, I'm sure, watching the 11th end.
Anna Yoten. Another peel. She got it started a little bit.
Bingo. Long raised takeout, and she hangs around to the 12.
Well, it's not really what she was playing, but it's plan B. It's, she was trying to peel it.
Julie's not too upset, though, because she left the guard out there.
That's right. The front stone is still there, and that's the keystone.
Stay from heavy.
The nice thing about that is that the Norwegian stone rolled to the wings and is not a factor.
May never figure in the outcome here in the 11th end.
Melissa Saligo, her first stone, extra end.
Lots of room. Light. Lots of room. Line's good now. Yep. Hurry. Come on. Read up. Hurry.
Nice shot, forcing Norway to go after their own long guard. Meta Halverson with the attempt at 81% today.
She wants to peel here.
She will get her own over on the outside of the sheet.
That's no problem. She got what she wanted. She wanted the front rock off.
But Sutton, of course, with the rock on the rings now, it's a chance to replace it. Moves to do that right now.
The nice thing about taking out the other stone for Canada is that when Julie, if they run all their guards off on you, and when Julie comes to the rings, she can be lying 2, forcing the Norwegian to hit and stick or draw against 2.
Just for line.
Oh, wait.
Where is it?
Where
Out
is it?
front.
Out front.
Where? Where?
Where?
Help.
Whoa. Might be deep. No, it's out.
No, it's out.
Okay. Good shot.
Nice shot.
Well, the only thing about it, Don, is it does set up the possibility of a double peel. She catches that on the outside and rolls away. She could actually clip the shot rock in the rings as she goes across the face of it.
Hits it straight back. She'll clip the second one and surely remove it.
Hits it straight back, though. She'll leave the shooter up there.
She would do, yep.
It's not a great angle for Canada, but just had to hit that a little bit thicker and she would have got them all. So we got away with that one.
Halfway. Okay. Halfway? Yeah. 17? Yeah. Yikes. Yeah.
Jody Sutton. A lot of fans in Calgary cheering for this BC team. Both girls born in that city.
Hurry!
No line. Wait if you can. Yep. Just over, just over. Just over.
Halfway.
Just get her over the line. She'll be happy. Let it settle in toward the center line. There it goes.
That's a better spot, Don. Much better spot.
It's a long way out. Good separation there. Well, Melissa Soligo makes her way down the ice, the second for this British Columbia team. She has done her part. Tracy.
Well, Mrs. Sutton has left the arena. The pressure's too great, but Mrs. Soligo is with me now. Why are you here outside of the ring?
Well, we find it really difficult to stay and watch the girls. We throw every rock that they throw, and it's just really difficult to sit there.
Are you a curler yourself?
Yes, a real recreational curler.
I guess you'd rather on the ice than up here where you're helpless.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good luck. We'll keep you
very
posted.
much. Thank you.
Don?
Yeah, thanks, Tracy. It must be so tough to watch this when you're this close to the situation as the family is, because so much is riding in every shot. There's Jody the third, 86%. She's had another magnificent afternoon.
Has she ever? Boy, she's been great this week. She really has. She's the key response. She's the key reason they're here. I can tell you right now. Not that the other girls, I'm not putting them down at all, but Jody Sutton has really played well. She's been the key.
We're told Mrs. Sutton left nothing to chance. She is out in the parking lot, well away from the Winnipeg Arena. She's not nervous. She'd be proud of this one, though. Good guard has been replaced.
Well, the little Norwegian's just going to try and run that off again. Hannah Pedersen. It's her in turn. The left-hander curling at 86%. Those are great numbers as well, Don.
It's in play. Off center. They get it as far across as they can, but it hangs around. Interesting ends, finally, the 10th and now the 11th to decide this championship.
Bra, dame. Jeg lurer på når hun legger en gard klin opp på den.
Ja, du kan prøve å spille dobbelt.
2 out, man on third.
Then you know what we do in the last one.
Should you try to squeeze maybe, Don? Squeeze him in?
Squeeze play right here. As long as you steal one when it's over.
Wait there. Just for line. Good. Tight. Forever. Wait. Hold down. Squeeze. Stop. Stop. Comes good. Good shot, Joe. Shot.
Judy finds the center line, nicely out in front with her first.
It's a bit tight, but it's not that bad. Hey? It's all good.
Well, it's a big decision for the Norwegians. I know what I would do, but I'm not out there.
What would that be, Ray?
Well, I would take off the front one again. I would run them off for sure. I wouldn't leave it there. She's thinking about going in first. Take my chances against hitting against two. Her choices are to hit this one here and try and get it off, get that off the rings. And what I'll just show you again, what she's thinking about is maybe coming around. She could come around like so to the top of the 4-foot area. Big discussion. She would also come with the other turn.
Rock of the 12-foot sticking out. That'd be tough to bury, though, wouldn't it?
I think this is the right shot. If you want my opinion on this, I would run this one off, but...
Oh, with her first rock, she has to execute some defense. She can worry about offense if she gets a chance with the last.
Well, it looks like she may have to draw to win this game anyway, but... or hit and stick, because there's a chance for Judy to lie too. If they peel this off, Judy's got a chance to tap that front rock back. I think she'll probably attempt to do or go around it.
A lot of anxious spectators here. More than 11,000 strong, waiting for this outcome.
Litt mer is, Anna.
Sånn.
Dette ganske hardt.
Ja.
She'll try to run it.
Kom igjen! Kom igjen!
Whoa.
She'll stay, but she kills the back one. But Sutton's got something to work with at least.
Well, she killed the back one. That was fine, but there's a guard on the center line, so this is a chance for Julie to get around it. Now, which turn? Where do I know the ice the best?
You gotta make sure it's good, but you gotta make sure it's around.
Going to come with the out turn, which is the better call, of course, because the rock sits on the other side of the center line. So
I'll say there. Okay. Yep.
Okay, well, she's looking for the draw through this large port here and try and get the rock right into this area here. If she can do so, she can make it very tough on the Norwegian. Big crowd.
We're gonna go for line. We're taking ice to get around. Okay. So we'll get it in there first, and then we'll bury it.
This is what makes the game so exciting, Don.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we had a few ends where there wasn't very much in play, but we've built to this point now, and
this was worth waiting for. Julie Sutton a chance to bury and perhaps steal the win.
She let it go absolutely clean. She threw it beautifully. Now, does she have the weight?
Now they're concerned about the line, I think. It's starting to curl. It's really coming on her. She is going to wreck on the guard and give Norway a free draw unless this one reaches the rings. It does not. A free draw for the win. What a shame.
Yeah, she had the weight, I think. It just seemed to dig in or catch something, and we haven't seen a lot of shots out there. Dordi Nordby with a chance, an open draw to the 12-foot, 8-foot, 4-foot for her second World Championship.
winning her first last year in Västerås, Sweden. She has a chance here in Winnipeg to draw to the wings.
We've done that normally.
Pretty disappointing for Julie and Jody.
Oh, will it go 12? I don't think so. Det litt mye? Nei da. Ja, men det står jo litt utpå der, da. Ja.
One little plus here, Don, is that Dordi has to go out a little bit wider. And she also has not played a great number of draws. Now the concentration. But she is the reigning world champion. And a chance to be the first to repeat.
Anywhere in the rings will do. She's up and ready to help with the sweeping if need be. And they all go to work on it. Dordi Nordby wins her second world championship. What a wild range of emotions that are felt right now, from the jubilant Norwegian victors to the disappointed young team from Canada. Came down to one opportunity to steal the victory, and a heartbreaking wreck at a guard out in front, and the draw was there for Dordi Nordby to win a second world championship. Gracious Julie Sutton quickly extending her hand to the winner. Jubilation and heartbreak here at Winnipeg. We're halfway through the World Championships. More in a moment.
Join Brian Orser, Scott Hamilton, Tuller Cranston, and an all-star cast for the most dazzling family entertainment event of the year. McDonald's Stars on Ice, presented by American Express. Coming to the Northlands Coliseum April 11th for one performance only, with special guest star Kurt Browning, courtesy of your local bottler of Diet Coke. Tickets are on sale at all Bass outlets, or call 451-8000 to charge your tickets today. McDonald's Stars on Ice, brought to you by CFRN in association with the Edmonton Journal and Easy 100.3 FM.
Spring is full of surprises. Stop into the 1991 Home and Garden Show and see what crops up.
McCullough has everything you need in outdoor power products. Top performers in chainsaws, gas string trimmers, gas blowers, and vacs. Check the yellow pages for the dealer nearest you.
I wanted the best. I chose Rainbird. Now the sprinkler people water my yard.
Come see the friendly people at the Rainbird booth at the Home Show.
The 1991 Home and Garden Show, Wednesday through Sunday in Northlands Agricom.
Well, I don't see how they can make glasses in 1 hour. It takes 2 weeks to make glasses.
That was Ed Hermes' opinion before accepting LensCrafters Doubters Challenge. Now, listen.
I'm very pleased with these LensCrafter glasses. I was amazed that I was able to get my glasses in less than an hour, and I thought it was a very complicated prescription. My skepticism with the LensCrafter service has absolutely disappeared.
LensCrafters, with 3 locations, including West Edmonton Mall.
An emotional Norwegian team celebrates a second straight Women's World Curling Championship. It came down to the final rock, and it was a cat-and-mouse game all afternoon long. Here in the Winnipeg Arena, Dordi Nordby, with her sweepers on the rock, needing only to draw anywhere into the rings for the victory, with the score tied at 3 in the 11th end. We'll see the rock hang a little bit, then come in. everybody on the rock, and the Yellowstone ends up in the rings, and Norway celebrates. I disappointed Julie Sutton, but boy, she has to be happy too, because those could be tears of joy as well. They put up a great fight all afternoon here in this final match for the women's, and even during the week, Julie Sutton's rink going 7-0 early in the week, and then beating Norway actually at one point 8-5. Coming into this match, we mentioned the cat and mouse game. It seemed for 6 ends they were blanked, and then later on, Julie was waiting for her point, waiting for the chance to get in there, and she did, and she tied the game in the 10th end, but then couldn't steal the point she needed in the 11th. And now, with their summation of what happened this afternoon, and an incredible emotional display by the Norwegians, let's go down to Don Chevrier and Ray Turnbull.
All right, Rod, thank you very much. Dramatic moment here, and Dordi is just behind us. We'll talk to her in a moment, Ray, but so often these championships come down to a one-rock finish like that.
Well, they do. The drama was fantastic, Don. You know, it built and built and built. She is the reigning world champion. She's repeated. She was, you know, she was great all week, and we just saw her put herself in a position. Unfortunately for Julie, her last rock, I think, caught something, and Dordi didn't have to make the big shot that she would have had to had she got around that center guard.
Okay, we'll talk to her in a moment. The second-time world champion. Right now, let's go to Rod.
All right, gentlemen, it's, well, quite an afternoon, as we mentioned. We still have the men's final to come, Canada and Scotland, 1 down, 1 to go. Disappointment, as we mentioned, for Julie Sutton, but they will be back. It's a very young team with lots of experience. They won the World Junior Championship before they came this close against Norway today, and Dordi Nordby, now the first ever 2-time women's world champion. Let's go back to Chevy.
All right, Rod, thank you very much. Dordi, how does it feel this time compared to last year? Any difference?
Great. It's just great. I don't know if we have understood yet what we have done. It's just, it's better this time than last time.
Did you think that Julie's last draw maybe picked up something? What did you think happened to her attempt to bury with her final rock?
I saw it would have gone into the guard, but maybe it picked up something, but I think she was maybe a bit inside the brush also. I don't know. I just was standing behind there.
You hadn't played a lot of draw shots in the second half of the game. Did that concern you as you reached the 10th and 11th ends when you had to make some draws?
No, it has been the same draw weight all the week long, so we all knew the draw weight, even if we had just played takeout in at least 7 ends, I think.
Well, 2 down. What do you say you go for a third next year, World Championship?
No.
No?
I don't know. We have to see what's happening next year.
Well, congratulations on this one. A fine win here in Winnipeg.
Thank you.
2-time world champion from Norway. Let's rejoin Rod Black now.
Thank you, Don. So Dordi Nordby can sit back now and relax, and as we await the start of the men's final, we will be back in a moment to tell you a little more about the rule changes in curling. Also, we'll take a preview of the 1991 Toronto Blue Jays. Stay with us at the World Curling Championships in Winnipeg as Norway wins the Women's Championship for the 2nd straight year.
Belvedere Auto Parts is proud to be the